Yes. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am aware. There is a new Jen Soto recording, apparently. And I mean, from the looks of the comments, people have been flooding my comments. They're like, oh, this chick is going to jail. I haven't heard it yet, but we will be checking it out soon. Until then, to hold you guys over, just to hold you over, we have this interview with Stephan Stern's dad and mom. And when I tell you this woman displays all the abusive traits of a woman, you don't really hear the term husband beater too often. But trust me, husband beaters do exist. And this would be the candidate of a husband beater right here. But anyway, we're going to go in, check out the family dynamic, especially with Stephan's mom, the way she treats his dad, the way she treated Stephan, all them things. This is a very long video, so, save it for later, kick back, get the popcorn if you're ready now, and let's go ahead and get into this because they cover so much. And we will be doing the Jen Soto interview tomorrow. So I'll see you guys there. I don't know. The smile, it looks like she can eat me. It looks like she can it almost like the Hinyard mouth. You know she can talk a lot because of that mouth. Holy shit. You see Tiffany Hinyard, right? Big mouth. You see her mouth? Big mouth. That means they're meant for talking shit. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and see what Moms is all about. I've heard things about her, man. Now we're going to see what's happening for real. Let's check it out.
Our pleasure. This has been a long few days, long week, and I can imagine what it is for you guys.
Full of lots of surprises.
Yeah.
We're in the seventh ring of hell.
So the reason we made the trip down here today is I know
she's already getting dramatic like Stephan. We're in the seventh ring of hell.
you spoke to Alex, I think.
Yeah, Alex, yeah.
Yeah, with Orange County, and may have spoke to Corporal Ilgen that works with us.
Is he the tall, slim guy?
No,
Was he
he's
at Orange County also?
he was. I think you may have talked to him out in the parking lot in Orange County.
Yeah.
Bald guy, probably wearing a SWAT shirt.
No, that didn't work. That I didn't. There was somebody else I thought was from Kissimmee PD, but and I thought actually you were him, but obviously not.
So
You're better looking he is.
Appreciate it.
Okay. All right. You didn't have to say all that, brother. You checking them out? Are you checking them? Just all right. Cool.
But since I'm the lead detective and he's my partner in the case, we kind of want to get eyes and talk to everybody that's involved.
I was expecting you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
shout out to the UK.
The reason we're here is basically try to get a background of what you know about Stephan and Jennifer's relationship and that sort of thing and stuff like that. So we can do it one of two ways. I can just give you guys the floor and you can let us know what their dynamic was, or I can do it question and answer wise, whatever's more comfortable for you.
Well, if you do it question and answer wise, you'll get the answers that you wanted. If you let us sit here and ramble on for half an hour, you may not get what you want. You still have to ask the question.
Fair enough for me.
We can fill in the gaps.
Yes.
All right. So, any idea?
Well, I feel like Mama already just wants questions, so she can't say too much. Just ask me the question directly.
How long Stephan and Jen have been in a relationship?
7 years.
7 years.
7 to 8 years, somewhere in there.
Okay. And was it constant throughout those 7 and 8 years, or on and off, or?
They were friends first, close friends first, and then it evolved into a romantic relationship. I think probably the first 18 months was just friendship, and then it changed from there. And no, we did not like the relationship.
I appreciate you.
Why not?
Didn't approve of it.
No.
Why
She was
is that?
bad influence on it because of her
Drugs.
drugs plus I think she was taking medications for depression, anxiety, what have you, and I just didn't feel that she was going to be a good influence for me.
She's bipolar. She's bisexual. She's a drug addict. She had a young child.
Wait. Hold on. Whoa. She's bipolar. She's bisexual. Damn. You could already tell Mom is fun at the fucking party. You could already tell she's a load of fun when she starts drinking.
Drugs.
Well, drugs plus I think she was taking medications for depression, anxiety, what have you, and I just didn't feel that she was going to be a good influence for him.
She's bipolar. She's bisexual. She's a drug addict. She had a young child. The family was disapproving, and she was sharing those drugs with Stephan. And I don't approve of vaping. We don't do any drugs. We don't even drink. I can't even take specified medications for pain because my body rejects them, and
Okay, it's reason after reason. My fingers are running out. Reason after reason. Mom hate this bitch. Mom is like, this bitch need to go. This shit is crazy. This is on Jen as much as Jen this is on her. Okay, that's fair. Mom laying it out there. Yo, you could tell Mom's is real fun at the party, bro.
really, really sick from them. So, I mean, went through open heart surgery on Tylenol.
Wow.
So it's
And they were both.
Nice. She's nice.
They slept all the time.
Yeah.
And you know, we had a hard enough time dealing with Stephan sleeping all the time, and now he's got a relationship with somebody else that does it as well. It's like they were feeding off of each other, and none of it in a positive way.
That is disgusting, bro. Let me light this thing real quick. That is the most disgusting shit, bro. Fuck that. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Might as well just decease early. Take an early fucking vacation. What the fuck are you doing? You already know. You pass Jen Soto the blunt. She's gonna hit that bitch like 2 times, and then she's gonna get sad about some shit, and then go to sleep while everybody else is having a good time. Like, Jen, we're taking shots. Jen, come on. No, Jen is over there sleeping. The blunt made her sad. Oh no, now the medication is counteracting with the blunt, and it's making her feel extra woozy. Oh, guys, I have to go home early. I'm sorry, my medication and the marijuana started to make me... Man, I could never be friends with something like this. Holy shit. You sleep all day, my guy? The fuck is wrong with these people, bro?
I disapprove of a lot of Stephan's
well, that's the only
people.
thing. Yeah, only thing her mother and I approved of together was the fact that we didn't approve of the relationship, because if Jen started spiraling down one of her holes of depression, she took Stephan with him. If he was depressed, he brought her in.
That's
and
beautiful.
It was just always like a balancing act with those two. This is not good. It's not a good dynamic.
You know, when you said they were always sleeping, like constantly,
Yeah.
were they taking medicine to go sleeping, or
No.
they were just...
They were faked out.
Yeah. Well, Stephan has a sleeping disorder, sleep apnea. So he's been tested for it, and his he would be up all night and sleep all day.
Okay.
Type of deal. And we really didn't have that much physical interaction with them. These are things that we just observed from a distance, and tried to talk to Stephan at times, but we just really didn't have any social activity with him to speak of.
When Stephan would be here in town, like, what would his routine be? Is he a homebody, or?
He locked himself in his room, and we would see him maybe once in a while, tell him dinner's ready, but he was constantly in his room all the time.
He was painting his little minis for Warhammer.
Yeah, he's
He
obsessed
spent a
with
lot
all
of
that
time
stuff.
doing that. A lot of time learning the new books as they came out. A lot of time online. He did go play Warhammer with the guys once a week. Tried to get him to go to the beach. Tried to get him to go to church. Tried to get him to go shooting with us. No.
Did he give an excuse why that he wouldn't want to
Didn't feel
go?
like it.
Just no motivation.
And he walked around with Jen on the phone on FaceTime all the time. I would be in the kitchen, I would look up and I would see Jen, and she's like, and I look at her and her eyes are open. I said, Jen, are you baked? And she says, oh yeah. I'm like,
And this is recently or throughout
that
the
was in
years?
the last few weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He wasn't. I brought him back in December because I was supporting him living there, and I didn't know that I was supporting the whole family. Again, Stephan's great at omitting information and not being transparent with me. And I just reached a point. I said, I can't afford to have you working for Disney. And there's always a deficit in his budget for one reason or another, but somehow he had expensive toys and what have you, and where the money came for that, he didn't even after he arrived here. Packages would arrive, and I said, well, I'm not giving him any money. Where the hell is it, Stephan? It's money I saved, and I'm sitting here going, Bohica. You know what Bohica is? It's an acronym. Bend over, here it comes again. And, he called me up and said, well, I'm short in funds. Can you, Zelle me $150?
Wait, what's the acronym that he used? Hold on.
Bohica. You know what Bohica is? It's an
Bohica. But who would say Bohica?
arrived here. Packages would arrive, and I said, well, I'm not giving him any money. Where the hell is it, Stephan? It's money I saved, and I'm sitting here going, Bohica. You know what Bohica is? It's an acronym. Bend over, here it comes again.
Bohica. Bend over here. What? Please, somebody help me.
Sitting here going, Bohica. You know what Bohica is? It's an acronym. Bend over, here it comes again.
Bend over, here comes again. No idea what that means.
And, he called me up and said, well, I'm short in funds. Can you, Zelle me $150, send him that. But meanwhile, now he's telling me he's got money in savings, which I didn't believe. So where the money was coming from, I have no idea. But these packages just kept arriving.
When you would support him, how would you get him money?
I sell it.
Okay.
And I paid him, Juan charged Jen rent, and then in November of 2022.
Oh, bend over. Here he comes again. Here he comes to fuck me again. Got you. Damn. That's what Pops felt. Okay.
The reason why I know that because I looked it up the other day. I said, how far back have I been paying rent there? But he started charging Stephan rent even though he was sharing a room with Jen. And then they decided that they weren't going to be in a relationship anymore, and he took over a full room, and now I had to pay $600.
Man, let him ride.
This just kept.
This is the problem. It's the father's fault. It's 1,000% his father's fault, bro. Fuck the mom. Let's not even talk about mom right now. Leave her in the corner because she can cry and bitch and moan about it all day. If dad said, listen, that's it. I'm done. You're moving out. I'll be nice. You're moving out next month. You have a month, sweetheart, my child. Figure it the fuck out. You got me fucked up. You got Pops over here saying, well, I guess I'm paying $600 now. I don't care if I'm a millionaire, bro. I could be up 5.3 million. You're my boy. Get the fuck out. My child, leave this place. We're going to get real biblical on him. Leave here now, my son. The fuck is going on? He would have got his shit together years ago, bro. It's his father's fault. That boy would have been homeless or been working at McDonald's. Then he would have figured some shit out like, oh, I don't really like this. Maybe I should start to work towards it. No, it's his dad's fault, bro. He maybe had that inner bitch that just came pre-installed in him, but his dad let that shit really develop into the bitch he is today.
Escalating. He wasn't taking care of his car. I was waiting for that shoe to drop. So finally, I said, I can't afford you to live there anymore, and I moved him back here. And I thought,
and I moved him back here. Fuck me. Bohica, bend me over and fuck me. That's what you're telling him. And he will keep doing that. You know why? Because it's free ass to get. And you're not telling him no. So what the fuck you think he's going to do? Oh, you're going to have to come back and live with me. Lord, have mercy on this father.
we had hoped that the year that he had spent at Disney, that he had matured and was now, accepting responsibility and had a disciplined routine, and that I could bring him back here and help him maybe develop into something with a better career path.
Fuck that.
Then working for Disney forever and not getting anywhere because at $30,000 a year he couldn't support himself if he wanted to live on his own.
Right.
And that.
What did he just say? Did he say he could? Wait, what? What did he just say? He couldn't support himself on $30,000 a year? Hold on, I know I didn't hear that.
Because at $30,000 a year he couldn't support himself if he wanted to live on his own.
Right.
And
Did he say he couldn't? Did he say he could or he couldn't? Did he say he couldn't?
then working for Disney forever and not getting anywhere because at $30,000 a year he couldn't support himself if he wanted to live on his own.
Right.
He couldn't, right? He could not? He couldn't? Well, damn. I guess I would have been shit. I guess I would have been shit out of luck a few years ago. I guess I was homeless a few years ago. I guess I just wasn't making it. You know? I guess I was doing crack on the street side. I guess I was just doing crack until I finally started making more than 30. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? I guess I was just doing fentanyl until I finally, I made $31,000 this year. Now I can have an apartment and live a life. You fucking weirdo. The fuck are you talking about? I live in California, big dog. I was making less than that, and I was quite okay. I wasn't happy, but I was quite okay. The fuck is he talking about?
And that turned out to be a huge disappointment because he fell right back into his same MO. You know,
Look up a salary at not even a salary. Look up a pay that you get at Target, and then look at the cost of living in California. You got me fucked up. Yeah, his dad kind of disgusts me now. That's wild. At first, I kind of liked his dad. His dad is actually disgusting at this point.
locked himself in his room, you know, wouldn't help us around the house.
I'ma shut up. I'ma shut up.
We
I'ma
were
shut
like
up.
on eggshells because when he was here, it was always tension because of his sleep disorder, and the dogs obviously are not the quietest things in the world.
Right.
And, you know, they have their routine. We have our routine. So we let them out in the evening, and it's chaos with them. We let them out in the morning, it's chaos. But for the most of the time, they're at feeding time. They're quiet, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that would
It
disturb.
still fucks me up that he said he couldn't survive 26 an hour. I wish I'd never made 26 an hour at a 9 to 5. It's crazy how he thinks 30,000 wasn't. That's wild to me. And they don't even live in Cali. I never made 26 an hour. The most I ever made was like 22. That's some bullshit. Shit, 26. If you work at Target and you're making 26 an hour, you're probably like a manager or some shit. You know what I mean? And people got kids. People got families. The fuck are they doing then? I guess they're all doing crack because they're homeless now. I'm not saying all homeless people do crack. I'm just saying.
Him and didn't want to cause a flare up with him.
So when it would disturb him with the dogs, was that during the daytime or was him trying to sleep at night?
Oh, it could be any time.
Oh,
And
okay.
if anybody comes to the door, get a package, a rat farts in the yard, doesn't matter, they hear it.
That
So
fucks
if he's
me up.
sleeping during the day and we're doing our daily routine,
That
you
really
know,
fucks me
there's
up.
going to be distraction. If I come in the house, they're going, hey, I'm home. You know, they'd be a lot more.
Right.
So, but you know, I would just hope that, you know, he was soundly sleeping and that he would just sleep through it. But occasionally you would hear a bark down from him.
Or if he had his headphones on.
Yeah.
So when you said you brought him back in December, do you remember when? First part of December, end of
I'd have to
December?
look up. It'd be early part of December because I was trying to get him out of there. I thought it was the end of November. It could have been at the very end of November or the very first part of December because I didn't want to owe Juan another month's rent. I wanted him out of there.
But did he mention if they were split up at that time or if they were still?
Well, they were supposed to be officially broken up.
Mm-hmm.
And
Did he ever say why they broke up?
they just, well, I mean,
Yeah.
yes and no. I mean, Jen told me as recently as last week she didn't want him as a partner. She realized that he was not going to be a good partner, but I assume that they both recognized that they wanted to go their separate ways. And I would say that occurred several months before because there was one time he mentioned he was socializing with somebody at Disney and that didn't that didn't go over well or something. She didn't like that. So
I told him, we both told him he would never get into a healthy relationship until he got away from her, because what are you going to do? You're renting a room, you're going to bring a new woman into your room with your ex in the next room? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a bad...
I think he was selling pictures for sure. Why else would there be a tripod? Yeah, he probably was all up on the dark web doing weird ass shit. But you know, people like this can change, but you have to put them in the situation where they have to change. They're already too fucked. It's like an old dog. It has to be extreme. You have to just clip him. He's in his 30s. You're still treating him like he's your 17-year-old trying to get on his feet. Like, I had a job when I was from 16. I had a job. The fuck is he doing with sleeping? I don't give a fuck about your disorders. Wow.
Recipe.
Did this ever happen within the last 7 years? Did they break up and get back together and that sort of thing? Or
I don't think so.
I seem to recollect that there was, there might have been a pause in that relationship, maybe to the extent of how involved the relationship was, and maybe it became more social than more of a relationship type of thing. Mm-hmm. But again, clueless as to exactly the extent of how involved the relationship really was. I mean, I always thought it was just good friends and you know, sex with benefit type of thing. Mm-hmm. But I don't know how committed they were to one another.
And that was going on all the way up until December.
Well, actually, before December, because like I said, when he went into the room on his own, that basically was probably the time that the relationship ended. So.
Do you remember when that was? You said November?
Yeah, I'm going to try to. Let's see. He left in December, maybe 3 or 4 months before he pulled out of there. I think only paid 3 or 4 months at $600, maybe 3 months. I'd have to look it up.
Do you know if when he came back here in December, was he ever making trips back to Kissimmee at all?
There was I think 3 occasions he went back. This last trip, with when all this stuff happened, a trip before that, and then he went back for Thanksgiving, or he was there for Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah, so he wasn't invited to the family events, and but he was there at that time.
Okay. I'm assuming just visiting Jen, or was he visiting other people?
He was visiting Jen.
Yeah, I wouldn't know who else he would be associated with at that time.
Okay.
I don't think he had any relationships outside of Jen. Mm-hmm. Maybe I think there was a time or two he mentioned that he was going to go out with some cast members after work.
Mm-hmm. But Bear was one of them.
Yeah, but that's the only.
Rose
time.
said a lot of parents do this with loser kids because they don't want them living with them. Listen, Rose, this is what you do. It's the easiest fix. You tell him he has a month to get a job, and if he doesn't get a job, he still has to move the fuck out. And then when the month comes, you kick him the fuck out. Guess what? You would be surprised at the things that they would figure out when they realize you're not bullshitting. Goodbye. Oh, it's 25 days, son. You thought I was playing? No, I'm looking for a job. Okay, but in 5 days, guess what? All your shit's going to be outside. And then when he doesn't have a job and it's 5 days later, you kick him the fuck out and let him figure it out. Oh, you can't hold your shit? Okay, take what you can. It'll be storage over here, and then when you have another place to put it, we'll let you have that. Get the fuck out. Come on, man. I give him a little care package here. Don't spend it all in one place, you know? Like, here you go. Like, don't fuck off.
Has he ever lived in Kissimmee prior to meeting Jen?
No.
No. Okay, always here in Northport, or has he lived out elsewhere?
Well, we moved here.
Windermere.
We moved
That's
here
insane.
May
You
of
can't do
2020,
that, bro.
so it was always at
Because
our
you know
home.
what would have happened? Stephan would have killed his mom or his dad, or some weird shit would have took place in their house. Think I'm playing. You let these kids turn into man kids, and then they end up killing you and stabbing you in your sleep and shit. It would have been that. He would have ended up killing some other girl. He would have ended up strangling his dad while he was bent over fixing the truck. He would have ended, something would have happened. None of that, it would have never ended well because they have a child in a man's body walking around now.
There, or he lived here, and then we finally got him out of here, and there was an opportunity for him to go live in Kissimmee.
Okay. But with Jen is when he went to Kissimmee.
Yeah, not on his own.
They were both supposed to be working at Disney together, but she can't keep a job
Do you know why?
because of the bipolar.
Well,
She doesn't want to lose her state benefits.
but depending on the type of work, she had back issues or something. So she couldn't do physical things. And now she did have a job as a concierge that didn't require any pressure or stress on her back or something. But there was always something that prevented her from working. Couldn't do dog sitting or whatever job it was. It would last no more than 2 weeks, and then she'd be back
And she was
crashing
going to
home
go
all
to
the
school
time.
for nursing. And I'm thinking, oh my God, save the world.
Well, then she was going to get into graphic design.
Oh yeah.
Dad bought her an Apple computer, thinking she was going to take these classes or online, and that didn't last long either.
And you're hearing this from
From her.
Stephan?
them.
Oh, from both of them. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. And everything that we're basically telling you is a lot of it's hearsay from what we were told. We didn't physically observe this, any of this stuff. Very, very little interaction with them. And then when they were here, they were either in Stephan's room. Maddie always slept with Debbie, but and Maddie floated around here, played with the dogs, did things that little girls do, what have you.
We did some arts and crafts together.
You were teaching her knitting,
Crocheting.
yeah.
So that was going to be my next question. So Jen and Maddie and Stephan came here to visit
Yeah.
at some point, or a few times maybe.
Yeah. Well, if he was here, living here, she would actually come down.
Yeah.
Okay.
But again, very few trips. The last trip we saw them was we didn't see them, I think we saw them early 2023 and then maybe for Thanksgiving 2022.
Okay. And then when they were here, you're saying Stephan and Jen would sleep in or would hang out in Stephan's room, and then Maddie would sleep with you or be
Yeah.
with you? Okay. Why is that? Do you know?
Number one, he's a slob. Number two, he only has a queen size bed.
Okay.
And number three, I didn't think it was a healthy environment. They were going to have her sleeping on the floor, on a sleeping bag. And I said, I have a king size bed. I sleep on 36 inches of it. There's a whole side of a bed. Why can't she be comfortable? So I just insisted that she come in with me. And I had the dogs with me. So if she got up, what Jen used to tell me was, she would wake up in the middle of the night. She'd come and climb in bed with them. I said, well.
Wait. She said, I have a king-size bed and I sleep on 30-some inches of it. Is that implying that clearly Dad isn't going to be in there, right? So is that implying that she sleeps by herself? Does she not sleep with Pops? Damn, L. It's a big L right there.
The dogs with why can't she be comfortable? So I just insisted that she come in with me, and I had the dogs with me, so if she got up.
Or maybe Dad just sleeps on the couch while they're there. I don't know, but it's kind of sounding like it's her king-size bed. It sounds like it's her king-size bed, not our king-size.
What Jen used to tell me was, she would wake up in the middle of the night, she'd come and climb in bed with them. I said, well, you're going to have the dogs here. If you get out of bed, you're going to rouse the dogs up.
I got you. Did they ever talk about their sleeping arrangements at their house in Kissimmee?
Just what I just told you, that if she had a bad dream or something, she would come in, and I told her, as Maddie got older, because we've known Maddie for 7 years, we watched her grow up. I mean, this is very hard. But she, cute, sweet girl, she was. But then she started, in the last year, she started showing signs of bipolar as well. And Jen was horrified by that. They were butting heads.
I think a lot of people don't share beds anymore because they hate each other. But that's just my assumption. So if you still share a bed with your husband, I guess you guys maybe still hate each other, but don't show it, or actually still love each other. But that separate bed shit, I think that's when you hate each other. And people give different reasons. They're like, oh, it's because he snores, or oh no, it's because I just need. No, you hate each other.
It's like two rams. They were fighting all the time, and they're presenting a very different family dynamic than what they told us was going on.
And you witnessed them butting heads, or?
No, I would be on the phone with Stephan. I would hear them going at each other in the background. That's and I would say, what's going on? Well, Maddie and Jenny are at it again, and.
Or maybe I'm wrong. They say some people don't share beds for healthy reasons. See, that sounds like coping to me. Just saying. But I don't know. Maybe when I get older and my wife and we're just like, nah, it's great, guys. We sleep in separate beds and we love each other. I don't know. It just sounds like a deep hatred. Because if I have a girlfriend, I love sleeping with my girlfriend. I mean, you know what I mean? I don't even care if she snores. I get used to it, and then it's mute to me. I don't even hear it no more. So to think like, oh yeah, we're gonna sleep in, nah, we need to cuddle. We need to be touching the whole night. The fuck are you talking about? Sleeping in separate beds? Why are we together?
He would go be the peacekeeper. But I just put that down to puberty. She went to puberty. She started puberty at 11.
Right.
It's hormones in me, but anyhow, she developed quickly, became pretty precocious, and other than that, I don't think she had a lot of friends at school. I don't think that she was a very social person. She had been, if you remember, Stephan and Jim both told us that after she began developing physically, that there were some boys at school last year that would push her up against the wall and grab a feel and bully her. And they were having a hard time with the school getting it stopped.
Why don't you just go see this? That's the type of thing you go to the school and you find the kid. I don't know what type of parents they got these days. I don't care if she gets kicked out of the school. We're gonna go there and find the kid and talk to him. I'm not finna catch no charge and put my hands on him. We're just gonna have a conversation. But see, you have parents that are some pussies. That doesn't even cross their mind. They go to the school and they ask questions. Nope, I'm gonna slide right in there. You're not even gonna notice me. Slipped up in there. Where is he, babe? Where? I might put my hands on him. We don't know what's gonna happen. Something might happen. Where is he, babe? Boom, right there. All right, bet. But when you have pussies as parents, things like that just go on, and then your kid gets fucked up.
But anyway, when they visited here, she was either out here or they were watching movies together. But when it came to sleeping time, she was definitely in Deb's room.
Yeah.
Okay. Any time where either Jen and Maddie would be sleeping in that room without Stephan, or
No.
okay, so the only person that would separate from them would be Maddie when she was sleeping with you.
And like I say, she was always floating around because she was bored looking for something
And
to do.
before that, as you see the holes, we had a TV there. And we didn't have one in my room that was big, very big, but we moved that one. So I would sit out here with Maddie when they were in there, and we'd watch TV together too. We even got the Disney Channel for her, so she'd have it. And
Do you know if Maddie or Jen, when they were sleeping here, did they take medicine at night or anything like that you know of?
no,
Or did Stephan take any? Has he been prescribed any medication?
he has been prescribed an anti-anxiety medication and a ADHD medication. He's got Adderall and something clomidine, for sleeping. I don't know what the first part of it is, but
Really didn't know his medical routines at all, hers or Jen's, other than the fact that
she was always changing medications.
she was, I think, taking medication for depressant and
Bipolar.
anxiety and bipolar, but I don't know anything beyond that.
She had a prescription for medical marijuana. And so she vaped all the time, and she shared it with Stephan. I wouldn't allow it in my house. I don't like the smell of it. I said, if you're going to do that, you have to be outside. You can't bring it in here.
Now, after Stephan moved back here in December and he made the trips back to Kissimmee, would he drive the silver car? Your
No, that's
car?
the first time he ever drove
No,
that.
no. He drove the silver car
Oh, that's
because
right.
his car was in dire need of servicing. So I said, last thing I wanted to do is go 2 hours north and be stranded, and now I'm dealing with a disabled car. So I knew that
See,
car.
his dad is so protective, just so protective, like it's a little baby. Bro, let him ride. Let him figure some shit out. Let some shit happen. The fuck? No, son, but if you do, I can't have. Oh, here's $600. Here's $1,000. Like, no, bro. Fuck.
Maintenance. So I
It
let
makes
him
me feel like his dad is the same way. Like, what? I don't know. It just makes me see his dad differently.
drive that car.
What's wrong with his car?
It's 1,000 miles over service. The brake jobs need to be done. He hasn't taken care of that car at all. It's probably going to need about $2,000 to $3,000 worth of repair on it. I'm sure if I take it in, I'm sure it's going to be $2,000 to $3,000. AC was been acting up on it, but I didn't trust it for long trips. If he was just if he was in Kissimmee commuting to Disney, that's one thing, but not long trips.
Right.
Matter of fact, I had him tow it down here, not drive it down.
Got it. So, is it safe to say this last time he came, and then maybe Thanksgiving or Christmas is when he took the silver car, or Thanksgiving?
So this last time, then he made it. When he came down here, he made a trip. When he first got down here, he made another trip back to get more stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was one trip, and then there was a trip in between. I guess he went up for Christmas because I think he was here for Thanksgiving. And then there was this most recent trip. So as far as I know, I think it was his 3 trips.
Now, when he would come back from there, would he have like loads of stuff? Like, I don't want to say furniture because there wasn't furniture.
It would just be leftover stuff that, for whatever reason, he had a 10-foot truck, and just the front end of it and all of the back was available.
So he rented a moving truck to grab it?
I rented it.
Oh, okay.
It was more truck than he needed, and why he didn't get everything he had was ridiculous, because basically Dane came down to his typical modus operandi. He waited till the last minute, and then didn't have enough time to put stuff up there or whatever, but he didn't bring everything back with him.
Got it.
He resorted to his typical modus operandi. What, bro? You sound like a dork. He acted like himself, is what you wanted to say? Like, Jesus Christ.
Did he say why he didn't grab his stuff?
He didn't have to. Well, basically, if he did, it wasn't enough. He didn't have enough time. He's like, bullshit. He had weeks to plan for this. I kept on him about that. He's completely opposite me. I start to organize stuff and get stuff done, not wait till the last minute, but he waited until the last minute.
Of course he did. He's Stephan Stearns. You know he was going to do that. His name is Stephan Stearns, bro. That's why when he moves, you tell him to move to where his heart desires, not back home.
How long was he in Kissimmee when he made these trips?
Well, he stayed up there. If he went up there, he was up there for the day. Maybe he stayed up there a day or two.
Okay.
Usually. 2 nights,
No rush to get back. No urgency to come back.
This last time he went up here, or to Kissimmee, did he say why he was going to Kissimmee?
Her birthday.
Her birthday. Okay. Did he say he was invited to a party or anything like that, or?
I think he
Maddie
was
called
asked
him to please come.
Oh.
And you heard Maddie call? Okay.
Yes.
Oh. Okay. So Madeline apparently wanted him to come. Now, this is coming from the parents of the murderer. So a little grain of salt, you guys flick on up in that story. But interesting.
And yeah, do you remember when that was? Because I know she had a party on Sunday. Do you know
Was
when?
it Saturday?
I guess.
Or was it?
To make sure he was coming.
Something odd went on Saturday. I don't know if was the invite on Saturday? Or did he just say Sunday, I'm going to Kissimmee?
No, we knew. I knew the week before because I found the gifts for Maddie.
Okay. He seemed to be very upset. Matter of fact, he came to me and said, do you have any anxiety medication? I go, no, sorry, don't have anything like that. Everything I have is for diabetes or heart. And then he went to Debbie and she said, I don't have any. And then he came back and said, well, I found some 4-year-old stuff. I said, oh, okay. But he was suffering from high anxiety, man. I don't know what he was stressed out about.
No, he's just suffering from bitch-madeness. That's what he was suffering from. And he keeps saying, oh, yeah, get it from Debbie. He doesn't say get it from your mom or my wife, or it's always Debbie, just Debbie. They're not together. These two are roommates. These two are roommates that are stuck in a fucking contractual agreement that neither one of them can afford to break. That's what I think is going on here. So make it work. Love you, sweetie, in front of everybody else. Maybe not even in front of everybody else, because he keeps calling her Debbie. Okay.
When was this?
Sometime in the evening. I don't know.
Oh, Saturday or
Saturday.
days prior to that?
Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah. And then he's making, and then I guess the medication worked, and again he looked like he was like very stressed out.
Have you ever seen him like that before?
Yes, when he was very stressed out. And it was like, better tiptoe, not sure if he's going to blow up or not. You know, he seemed like he was calm enough, but, you know, I didn't know if anything could trigger him or not.
Did it seem like he was more in fear of something or scared of something or just...
It was a different, other than, you know, being really upset about something, it looked like he was stressed out over something. Obviously, he never shared any of his feelings with us. And I had no idea it was stressing him out. But something really had him upset.
Angry upset or just not that type of upset?
Not angry upset, but just something worrisome. Just seemed like there was something that was really preying on him, and it was not settling well with him.
And that's when he told you guys he was going to Kissimmee, or did he tell Mom prior to that?
Well, he was making plans to go to Kissimmee, and and I don't know exactly when this happened, whether he told me on Saturday, but I knew he was leaving Sunday because we talked about the expense of that trip, and he said, well, Jen's going to pay for the trip, because I was done paying for this stuff.
I was done paying for it, bro. You're his bitch. What are you talking about? You're done paying for this shit. You are Stephan's bitch. You always have been and would have continued to be. And then guess what? When he died and Mom died, Stephan would have probably been a homeless man. I kid you not. If he didn't find anybody to leech on in time, if he didn't find anything to suckle onto in time after his parents died, he would have been a homeless man. Talking about the good old days of playing Magic the Gathering with his friends. And when he used to have a relationship with Maddie and Jen. He's such a bitch. And his dad is a bitch. I'm sorry.
And he said, well, Jen's going to pay for it. You know, I said, well, go down and fill up the car, and I'll take care of that. That would be enough gas for him to get up and get back, because that's all he was going to do. And so I'm assuming that the plans were submitted on Saturday, but you're telling me that you knew about it a week in advance, and maybe he started planning that a week in advance, but I wasn't aware of it until the last minute.
But he didn't have this fearful reaction earlier that week. It was just that Saturday.
Yeah.
Did he say how long he planned on staying in Kissimmee?
A week.
A week.
Yeah. I was planning we were planning on him to be gone for a week because we were welcoming the break.
Got it.
What did you buy her as a gift? You said you got her a gift?
I had ordered something, and they looked marvelous, but then I got it, and I think this is really probably too juvenile for me to wear. It's called Mermaid's Beads, and it's made out of sea glass, and it was a dual colored bracelet, and they had the stud earrings and the same thing, and they were kind of opalescent. So they're really neat. It's by No Goo, and it's mermaid tears. But I said, these are still in the box. I've never even worn them. I said, why spend money on something? This is something she would really like, because I knew her enough to know this was something right up her alley. And I said, this is $90 worth of a gift, that's just going to sit where it could be doing good someplace, somebody could enjoy it. So just gave him the boxes and said, are you going to gift wrap them? He said, no, I'll just take them like this. So.
How did you guys come to hear about everything that happened on Monday?
So I tried reaching Stephan. He called me when he got to Kissimmee Sunday.
Any idea when he called you?
I know exactly because I wrote out the timeline this morning.
Okay.
6:48 p.m.
Okay.
But then I noticed on some pass that he was out around
Happy
8:30, 8:48, and there were 2 sun pass tolls. And I said, well, maybe they had gone out or something. But I said, okay, that's a little weird. So I tried to get a hold of him several times Monday morning, or maybe noonish or so, maybe as late as 2:30ish or something, and then I get a call from him at 3:17. And his voice sounded a little off to me. I thought, well, maybe he was just, tired, and then maybe he didn't get a good night's sleep or what have you. And then during that conversation, he says, "Oh, by the way, I had a flat tire."
Okay.
Radar goes up. I go, "What do you mean you had a flat tire? Where could you have gotten a flat tire?" Now, I'm not going to say you can't pick up a flat tire anywhere, but he's just driving from here to the apartment and shouldn't be driving anywhere else, per se. "Oh, I just got a flat tire." "Okay, where?" 192. And then he described the fact that the tire was so flat that he ran the rubber off the wheel. Okay, 192, plenty of places to pull over, and you're driving.
And see, this is the point. This is the part where, like, I think I said it earlier. I think he said this in the last interview. It kind of feels like deja vu. But it's to the point where Stephan doesn't even have the real life experience because he's such a man-child. He probably hasn't really driven that much. I'm just assuming, right? I'm assuming he doesn't do day-to-day driving. Maybe he's never gotten a flat before in his life. Who knows? But all I'm saying is that, like, he would know that that's a ridiculous story if he had any real-life experience. The rubber came off? That's kind of extreme. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty extreme. But if you don't have any real-life experience driving, maybe that sounds like a plausible, maybe that sounds like a regular excuse. Yeah, the rubber came off. It was crazy. It just popped and...
The rubber off the wheel. So then he described that he was changing the tire and that didn't have it set right, and the jack collapsed somewhat and trapped his thumb between the frame and the jack, and did hurt himself severely. And I think the conversation lasted about 3 minutes, and I said, "Well, let's get the car into a tire place and see what's going to cost to repair it." And I'm sitting there counting it. It's going to cost me several $100s for this now. And then that was it. And then 4:54, I'm just getting out of the car, meeting a customer. I'm going to take him into a house, and he calls, and he says, "I'm en route to Maddie's grandmother. There's been an occurrence." I said, "Well, that's a strange word to use, but okay." And then I'm thinking, well, this is weird. 2 events in one afternoon: the flat tire and now this. And so he said, "Well, I took Maddie to school this morning, and I dropped her off just down from the school because Maddie didn't want to be seen dropped off in front of the school because I'm not driving a cool enough car." I said, "Okay, well, understand that. Teenager, peer pressure, what have you." And he said, I watched her walk towards the school out of the rearview mirror as I pulled away." And so then he goes on to describe that she wasn't, it's been reported that she wasn't at school. We went to pick her up, and she wasn't there.
Immediately, his dad probably knew he had something to do with it. Immediately. I would. That story is too strange, brother. That's a strange-ass story. It's a really, you know what I mean? Immediately, he probably knew something. But, denial. No, it probably didn't do it.
Then we come to find out she had been at school all day. And then he starts to describe that the area is a high abduction area. Kids are stolen for abducted, kidnapped for sex trafficking. And that there's a good chance that she's been abducted. The typical questions. Well, what have you done to try to locate her? Have you contacted her old friends, social media? Where's her phone? Oh, she left her phone at home. Oh, okay. Yeah, she does that from time to time. And
yeah. His dad knew. His dad knew immediately before the police came and asked him these questions. All that. The reason Madeline is missing is because of Stephan somehow. We don't know if he killed her. We don't know if he did anything to her. Probably that wouldn't cross my mind. But she's definitely missing because of you. It's too perfect. And now you're telling me stories about how kids get abducted a lot. Why is that? Come on now.
We had a conversation, and he was
What's up, Mary Carter?
sobbing. He was really sounded upset that he was holding himself responsible for this.
Yeah, because he killed her.
Same routine that he did in that Tuesday interview. I think he was rehearsing it on me. And it was exactly the same routine, same explanation, the whole deal. And so then I kept in touch with them throughout the evening because they were waiting for police to show up, and it was hours, and I just kept checking in, any news. And then that was it until Tuesday. And then I didn't talk to him again until Tuesday, maybe it was the afternoon. And again, just trying to get an update, what's going on. And then as the day expanded, then police were now more involved. And there's interaction between, I guess, your department and the two of them.
Backtracking to Monday, so you talked to him, you said you tried calling him. When you tried calling him, did the call go right to voicemail, or did it ring a few times?
Combination of all of that. I mean, let me get my notepad.
And by the way, Jim had mentioned several times that Maddie was going through a phase where she didn't want to look uncool, and that it had become their routine to drop her off 1 block from school and pick her up 1 block from school.
And she told you this?
Yes. And never said anything about it being a high traffic area or anything like that. She just said, it's a straight shot. We can see the school. There's an overpass. We make sure nobody's in the overpass, hanging out. And so we just watch. And then Stephan said he took her by himself. And then in the interview, Jen said, we dropped him off. She said it several times. And so I don't know if, do you want any conjecture or no? The conjecture is that she and Maddie are the same size. That she wore Maddie's clothes with the hoodie up to cover the dark hair instead of the light hair. And that was Jen we saw sitting at the church in the picture. Because obviously, from what we've heard, Maddie was already gone by that time. So this elaborate charade put on for everybody's benefit. And she's cool, calm, and collected, and he's a sobbing, wet mess.
So
She really hates Jen. She wants everything to go on Jen. Listen, I don't like her just as much, but your son definitely had something to do with it.
my call to him at 2:25 was 2 seconds, so no connection.
Gotcha.
And then he called me at 3:17, and that conversation lasted 3 minutes.
And you said he was upset at that time, or he seemed...
No, he seemed off, and I said, well, maybe, the anxiety medications or what have you was keeping him somewhat kind of flat, monotoned in a way. Nothing upbeat about it. And then, matter of factly, I had a flat tire. We talked about that, and then
Did he plan on taking the car to a tire shop? Did you guys confirm that plan? Or?
I told him to. I said, he's driving on a donut. And we both confirmed that, the donut wouldn't last long, and that, he needed to get that quickly replaced. And I expected him to do it. I didn't expect for him to do it that day, because that's not Stephan's modus operandi. I expected him to do it the next day. So then I didn't hear from him until he called me at 4:54. And that conversation lasted 3 minutes. And as I said, I heard this story about him dropping her off at school and the whole abduction thing, and I heard that even more later in the evening. But I thought to myself, how strange these two events happened, and within a short time of one another that afternoon.
Did you question him about it or no?
No, I didn't think about it. When the call came in, he starts telling me that this is just a thought I had. It's kind of strange that. Coincidence that there were two incidents like that in that afternoon.
Okay. So moving on, you spoke to him around 4-ish, and that's when he said Maddie's gone missing.
Yeah, more close to 5.
Okay. And then didn't speak to him again until the following day. Is that
No,
correct?
I talked to him for 7 minutes at
Thank you,
6:02.
Donna.
Okay. And
6:02, and then again for 5 minutes at 6:22.
And is that just to get updates, or
Yeah.
what's the conversation?
He had to know. It's hard to understand your sense of monster. Yeah, but I feel like he had to know though. Like you've had this fucking failure of a son for how many years in this world? You had to know he was on some bullshit. He probably knew his son was into little girls too, probably. Or had a suspicion. You know, I don't know. Shit.
Conversation you're having?
Well,
with him
it was
during
me
that time?
making the. It was me. He called me at 6:02, and again, just briefing me, letting me know what's going on. There was an out call at 2 minutes at 6:18, and then another one at 6:22 for 5 minutes, and both of those I was making the calls. And then nothing again until Tuesday at 12:16, 3 seconds there, and then out at 6:32, 1 minute. I'm not even sure if we had even a conversation. So that was, and then after that, no more calls from his phone. Now Jen's calling me on her phone.
Okay. Did they tell you why?
Because he reset his phone.
There was a conversation about whether the police wanted his phone and whether he should give it to him. And I said, do you have any reason not to?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, no. And I said, then give me your phone. Let's get this cleared up, you know. What really upset me was in one of the conversations I had with him when it became apparent that he was going to be a person of interest, I said, well, you had your phone. You can document where you've been. Mm-hmm. Well, I left my phone at home. Okay. Let's backtrack. Were you anywhere that a camera could have caught you? Where'd you go? And it didn't sound like he went anywhere that a camera could track him. So I said, well,
The vape store.
well, I understand that, but I'm not sure, you know, where a camera would have been. But you know, thinking he was innocent, you know, trying to help, you know, pinpoint where he was so he could document his whereabouts, because of my understanding there was a 2 hour gap between when he supposedly dropped her off
Stop.
and then when he returned home, because he said he called Jen at 10:17. And in fact, my understanding why he called Jen at 10:17 was to get back into the community because she had to call him in. He didn't have his clicker.
Okay. Is he tech savvy?
My impression, no, but I'm hearing, you know, hearsay from other people that he may have been. But when he told me that he was doing a OS update on his phone and it accidentally wiped out his phone, I cried bullshit. Mm-hmm. You know, but you know, there's always that one off. It could be, you know, but when he starts saying, "Well, yeah, I accidentally pressed the button to reset it," then I knew it was bullshit. Mm-hmm. That's not in the process of an OS update. You just say, yes, go ahead and do it, and you leave it alone, and it updates it and lets you know that your phone's been updated. End of story.
And he could have probably floated that story a little bit better, like, oh yeah, I was updating it and my phone died, and then when I hurry plugged it in, you know, everything was wiped, it fucked everything up, you know, I guess the update had, but he's such a moron. He was like, yeah, I clicked the button and it was like something like, do you want to wipe your whole phone out? Who the fuck? Come on, I've had an Android and an Apple phone. No OS update do they say, hey, by the way, do you want to just like fuck your whole phone off like while we're doing this real quick? Like, I mean, like, you know, you've been needing to clear your phone anyway. Like, there's not an option there. And that shit takes long. I think I did that to like my iPod or some shit. That was the last time I actually reset like a whole thing. That's a whole process. And then you have to type in your password to make sure. You have to type in your password. And in Apple, when you do shit like that, you have to type in your password and then you have to type in like a secondary something. So, yeah, bullshit.
Under this other bullshit.
Do you pay for his phone or does he pay for it?
I pay for it.
You pay.
Did you want this coffee?
Yeah, would you put some cream in it, blonde like you know, and duke it in the microwave for 38 seconds?
How did you get to Kissimmee? Like, what made you go to Kissimmee?
Okay, so I got a call. I got a call at 9:30. And then I think that's when that discussion took place about whether to give this phone to the police or not. I said, you haven't got any issue with it, give them the phone. Give them the phone. And then I got a call, and then I went to bed. I was 10-ish something. I'm all tucked into bed. I got the boys with me. And I may have been partially asleep because I had my phone on silent.
Oh, yeah.
And then I woke up because the phone
they for sure sleep in separate rooms.
was vibrating, and then my watch would have been in the office. So the phone was vibrating. By the time I got it, there was no connect. So then that was at 10:42, and then I made an out call at 10:43, and then the conversation was about, you need to come up here.
And who says that?
They both did because they were on speaker.
Okay.
And Stephan said, hey, you need to come up here. And I said, okay. I said, so we discussed, they were being kicked out. They didn't have a place to stay. So I said, well, we need to figure out where to go for, where to stay and what have you. And so I'm jumping in the shower, packing a bag, talking to Deb, making plans to leave, which I did it just after midnight. I tried to make a call to them at 11:56. It went to voicemail, and then I called her back at, now we're into Wednesday, so I called her back at 12 to let them know I was on my way. And then I also called my wife because when I left, the front door, if you notice, has an electronic keypad on it. That's why I think a drink.
No. Okay. Thank you.
It wasn't working, and it's been it's electronic, and it's batteries in there since the day we moved here, so 4 years old. So when I tried to lock it, it's not flashing or anything. I did get it to lock, but I wanted her to know that, hey, if you go out, you're going to have to come back in through the garage door. And the only way to do that if you had a clicker in your remote in your visor, but you weren't going to be able to get in through the front door. And then I got a call from them at 1:18, lasted for 2 minutes, and then at 1:51, 50 seconds, because I arrived at the hotel.
What were the conversation at the 118 area? What was that conversation about?
Just confirmation of where they were and where we were staying and the address of the hotel, because it was out off of west of Disney off the 429.
And from what I understand, did you pay for the hotel or did they pay for it?
They paid for theirs, and I paid for mine, but then it said a pet-friendly hotel, pet-friendly if you pay $150 for the night. Okay, so, all right. So I paid for the dog to stay.
Okay, their dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I actually...
Yeah, Daddy always has to come to the rescue. This shit is disgusting. You're getting kicked out? Oh, call Daddy, which is fine. But that's all he's done his whole life. Like, bro, figure some shit out. Like, god damn. What are you even good for?
Reimbursed her for it.
All right, and when you got to the hotel, you had conversations with Jen and Stephan, I'm assuming?
Yeah, we were just greeting, gave Stephan a hug and, chit-chatted for a few minutes. I was busy checking in because they had already completed their check-in. They went up to their room. They were on the opposite end of me, but we were on the same floor. I went out to the car to, park my car, get my stuff, and bring it in and go to my room. And then I went to their room, spent about 10 minutes with them, no more than 15, and then I was heading back to my room to go to bed. What
were the conversations when you were in their room?
I don't really recall. It was just, everybody settled in, everybody okay, we'll just meet in the morning and see what unfolds at that time. I'm sure there was going to be some more interviews or what have you. I planned to go to the office, our corporate offices in Orlando, so I planned to go. So I was up 6:30, 7ish or so. 6:30, then I left the hotel around 7:30 to go to the office.
Okay. When you left to go to the office, was Stephan and Jen still there?
As far as I know, I don't know. I come to find out later when I got a phone call from Jen around 10 o'clock, 9:48 or so. I think it was. 9:49, she called me. It lasted for about a minute to ask me if Stephan was with me. I go, no. Well, he's not here. How long has he been gone? Maybe 25 minutes.
Oh, and this is the whole cover-up that's taking place at this point, I'm assuming. DW, thank you for the $2. Just wanted to pop my head in. Keep it up. Got to go. Appreciate you, DW. Thank you so much for the love. Shout him out.
I said, okay, well, all right, maybe he's out running around, whatever. So then I get a call from her about at 10:17. Don't recall what that conversation was about. Then there was another call, 10:47, and I think, matter of fact, I try to recall what time we talked about his not being there, and then I called back and said, I told her, I said, go down to the lobby. If he was gone for 25 minutes, go down to the lobby. Maybe he's down there. It seemed logical. And then after I hung up, I called her back and said, are your car keys there? And she said, no. I said, okay, interesting. So then I get a call back from her later and saying that the detective had called and said they were going to come over within the hour to visit with them. And I said, okay, I'm on my way. So I left the office and drove over there and thinking, well, he's going to be in a world of hurt if he's not there when they come back because they'll probably put a bolo out on him and then just decide to arrest him because he's wandering around. You know, what's he doing? So
When you got back, was he there?
no, he didn't show up for another 15 or 20 minutes.
Okay.
And then
I need to do the newest Jen Soto interview. I know. I've been seeing it in the comments. We might just do a back-to-back. Angel, no. We might just do a back-to-back. I'll just have to eat some lunch, and then we might hit it, depending. What's wrong, girl? What's wrong? Is it cold? I might turn off the AC. She might be cold. Yeah, we might do it. I hear you guys. It'll either be today or tomorrow. Mary, thank you for the 10. Shout her out, man. You guys are showing love today. Mary Seidler. Angel, no, stop. Man, her and her skin allergies. We almost got her back, though. Thank you so much for the 10, Mary. Hold on, give me a second. Let me turn off this AC. Hey, stop scratching. All right, too cold? Sit. Angel, sit. Good girl. What's wrong? Too cold, huh? Okay. Stop fucking scratching, motherfucker. Stop scratching. We are back. Thanks again, Mary. I appreciate you.
do you know if Jen's car has a GPS in it? Nav system?
It does, yes.
Okay, well, that's part of his lie. So, he came back in and said, well, I got lost in the back roads of Disney, no GPS and what have you. And I didn't think about this till later. I thought, wait a minute, Jen's got a newer car. Most of them have a GPS system in it. So because he didn't have a phone, and obviously he didn't have hers, he was trying to wind it.
I try not to give her steroids because it's just hard on their body. I'm trying to just keep her. If I oil after this stream, I'm gonna have to give her that moisturizer. What's wrong? It's cold. That's why she's complaining. I turned off the thing. But yeah, I gotta rub her fucking head down every day.
His way back to the hotel, but couldn't because he didn't have a GPS when in fact he did have a GPS.
Now, there was talks of that he may have came here.
She finally set the fuck down. Yeah, just chill, girl. I'm gonna take her in a minute. Thank you for the 5 memberships, Jim. Shout you out, man. Appreciate you. I appreciate you.
that morning?
Well, so when I finally got in to see Alex Wednesday evening, he said, "What exit do you get off at when you come back to Northport?" Tested my exit numbers, and I said, "I think it's 179, Toledo Blade." And he said, "Did you know that Stephan was in Northport?"
Everybody who got that gifted, man. Lunas, C. Brown, Bean, Trina. Shout you guys out. Shout out to Jim. Thank you so much again. Hell yeah.
At 7:45 that morning. I said, "Really?" No, I didn't. Then I later learned it was really 6:30ish, which meant that, and I had my timeline all screwed up. I thought they departed their room at 3:30 when in fact it was more like 2:30. So I was thinking, gosh, I just went to bed, and then he turned around and got out of there and went down to Northport. But when I learned about that, I couldn't imagine why. And then Alex is telling me, well, we have information that he went to your storage unit. So that led us down a rat hole, and then I found out that was completely wrong. That access storage facility had been accessed for 2 weeks, and that was me going to put the lock back on that I had incorrectly relocked my unit 2 weeks ago, now almost 3 weeks ago. So that was wrong. The time of his entering Northport was wrong. It was really an hour earlier, hour and 15 minutes earlier, and he never went access the storage unit. So I'm sitting there thinking, well, he must have been really disappointed if he was coming to this house, because he couldn't get in the front door, and that door was locked, and he knew that that if he came in, chances are he would put the dogs on high alert and set them off, which would have got her up. And I asked her, I said, "What would you have done if Stephan was standing in the middle of the house and you weren't expecting him?" It's like, "What are you doing here?" And God knows what would have taken place at that point and why he was here.
Where's your dad? Why are you here? You know, I thought you.
Why did I go to Orlando? Because I can tell you the amount of time I spent with him, aggregately, 3 occasions, was a total of 30, 35 minutes. It's the amount of time that I had spent with him. Because when he got back to that hotel room, the both of them went back to bed and they slept. And there was no waking the dead. And up until 2 o'clock, I'm trying to get him to eat something. Jen and I went down and had some lunch, but I have no idea why he was here, other than to get in the house, to get something, maybe try to steal some money from me, maybe steal something of value, to sell it, what have you. I have no idea.
Damn, that's how he thinks of his son. So Stephan Stearns apparently is way over here, but at the same time, he comes way back to the house while his dad leaves to go help him. Yo, this kid, he didn't know what he was doing, bro. He had no idea what to do. He was just spiraling. That's what was happening. I wonder what he was there for, though, because remember, he said earlier it was like late in the night and the dogs were on high alert. I don't know. And then he goes back and they go to sleep. Almost like, let's just sleep and just not think about it. It's so terrible, babe. It's just so terrible. Let's just go to sleep. It's just let's just sleep. That shit is disgusting, bro. Waste of fucking space. On another level. Much love, gang. Thanks for covering this, AG. I appreciate you, LZ. We might be back with another live. I don't know. We'll see. I appreciate you big time.
So when on Tuesday, when he eventually made it back to the hotel, you're saying you and Jen went to go eat, but Stephan didn't want to go? Or?
No, you couldn't wake him up. He was out of it, dead to the world.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, I was told by
even the cop was like, "Okay, you smack him the fuck awake. You couldn't wake him up." This is another example of his dad just pandering to Stephan directly, like, "Oh, are you too sleepy? Oh, you can't wake up." I mean, if you can't wake up, I would think you're dead, right? He can wake up.
I have no idea.
Thank you, Green Eye Bandit, for the $2. 4 days away from the 1 year membership. Man, listen, shout you out because I can. Hey, and you can, and I shall receive. Thank you very much. But listen to this.
So when on Tuesday, when he eventually made it back to the hotel, you're saying you and Jen went to go eat, but Stephan didn't want to go? Or?
No, you couldn't wake him up. He was out of it.
He was out. Bullshit, he was out. Throw some water in his face. You think he can't wake up? Place a rag over his face and drizzle some water. Waterboard his fucking ass. He can't wake up? Come on. His dad, man. I would not want to be friends with this guy. He's a...
Dead to the world.
Okay. Now, I was told by Northport PD when they came and talked to, I'm assuming you, one night, that you may have mentioned the dogs barking sometime throughout the night.
They went on high alert and I looked at my watch because I was in here alone. 3:19 in the morning. I had all 5 of them sleeping with me since he wasn't here to sleep with the boys. Mm-hmm. They all went from dead asleep to springing up in the air and standing on all 4 feet, all of them looking at my window, mm-hmm. and giving the war bark. That's not a war bark. That's a wolf.
Yeah.
When they do it, it's a sound that will make your skin
wake to death.
Goosebumps. Mm-hmm. And I didn't have the gun in my room. I don't usually I don't usually keep it in there. I had to come and look for a flashlight. I let all the dogs out here. And then I did not unlock the security lock on the door. I just took the flashlight and went like this to see if there was a critter in the yard. Mm-hmm. We have bobcats, we have all kinds of stuff out here. So, didn't see anything in the yard. Didn't see anything out the front. Went and looked through the office window. Didn't see anything.
His mom is so damn dramatic. She is. This is her on 1 right now too. I can imagine her on 10. Shit, this is her on 0.5 right now. She's chill. I could listen. Look at that mouth right there. That mouth is built for talking. Shit. But I think there's a one-on-one interview with the mom. Oh, I thought there was one of them that was one-on-one. What? All right, anyways, let's continue.
Out there, so didn't see a car. I thought, okay, well, we must have had a critter, and I just missed it. Mm-hmm. You know, they dig holes and come under the fence and drive the dogs nuts. Rabbits especially, we had one last night.
And you're saying that your code to the storage facility was not used on that Tuesday?
No, the storage unit, Northport Police told me was, they misread it, but they said the last access, because I didn't think Stephan had my access code unless when we were there in December he decided to memorize it. Mm-hmm. And I keep it in my contacts because obviously I don't use it that often. I'm not going to commit to memory. But I was there 2 weeks ago because they called me up and said, hey, you know, we're doing an audit. We got an audit that's going to happen, and we check all the units, and you didn't lock your unit properly. So, you know, it's a slide it over, bolted, and then it's got 2 holes. You drop your padlock in there and lock it. Well, apparently I locked it on the outside. Mm. I didn't think I did, but anyway, I must have. So I went over there the next day and properly locked it. So,
any reason why he would come here? Does he have any other friends or close people that he would?
Well, I mean, he has a limited number of friends. I don't know. Maybe he was going to hook up with one of them. Frank being one of them. It's the one I know that he's
Played Warhammer.
Is closely associated with, and when he goes out, it's with him. And we haven't heard of anybody else that he's socializing with. So I'm assuming he would have gone out with Frank, but. Other than just gaining access to this house, and there's no way he would have broken in here because impact windows not going to do that, and the front door not working, so he was screw glued tattoo. I checked the car, you know, after the Northport police left to see if there was any marks on the door to see if he was tried to pry the car open, but nope, I didn't see any marks on it. So I guess he was here for an hour and 15 minutes or so before he had to make tracks to get back to Orlando, but. Have no idea what he did for that amount of time. Maybe he came down here thinking he would throw the police off. Mm-hmm. If they obviously found a way to track him or something, maybe they said, well, he disposed of the body or disposed of something down here, but have no idea. Other than just coming here and stealing something from us.
So they're pretty welcome with the fact that he definitely did this to her. I thought they were going to be fine. Mom is pretty quiet, but dad is full-fledged going for it. He's like, yep, he probably did something with the body. This happened. Like, he's like, yeah, he did it. And as you should. But what's crazy is he keeps trying to push it away from him. Like, yeah, he's just a fuck up. He just sucks. He, you know, he never had any motivation. He just never had. That's your fault, bro. From the time he was 16 and you saw he didn't have no motivation, you should have started motivating him. There's a lot of ways you can motivate someone. That's crazy. He's trying to be like, yeah, I just don't know what happened. You happened. That's exactly what happened. You happened. You coddled. Some kids, you don't have to do that. You know, some kids are just naturally, they just want to go into the world and get some shit done. Clearly, Stephan wasn't that way. You got to push him. He didn't do that. He treated him like he was his mother or something. Mother's there to nurture. Pops is there to make him do some shit. Like, come on now. That's crazy.
You don't know if he has his own credit cards or anything like that, do you?
He has one, maybe two credit cards at best that are his, and nothing else.
Okay.
I don't think he may have. I gave him access to a second Chase account that I set up for him, but it hasn't been used for whatever time. So if he has that, it doesn't have any money in the account. So other than that, that's the only thing I would know he had. I gave him. He would have use of the gas card, but I made him fill it up and give me the card back, so he didn't have use of that.
Okay. What banks does he have? Chase and...
Well, he has a second account that I set up, but he has his own account with Disney Partners.
Credit union or something?
Okay.
Yeah. We don't have any access to that, so I don't know what he's got in there, what he doesn't.
Have you looked to see if there was any phone activity on your account that you pay for anytime during that Monday, Tuesday area?
I didn't look at his account. To answer your question, no. But then a Wednesday, since he didn't have his phone, I had a spare phone that I use for business, which I think you guys have, iPhone mini, and I said, here, use this until you get your phone back. Again, thinking everything's innocent and what have you. And so I gave that to him around 3 o'clock Wednesday afternoon and said, use this. And then we went downstairs and met with the detectives, and then they were escorted away. And then the last time I saw the phone, other than him calling me to tell me that the detective said when they pull into the Orange County Operations Center, they're going to go straight back. And I go, oh, okay. And I'm to go to the left and park out in front of the main building. We're going there for the press conference. And then I get there, and then I'm expecting to meet up with Jen and Stephan to go up to the press conference. And then when trying to reach them, Stephan's phone is dead at this point. It's turned off. Finally, Jen responds to me, and they said they're making arrangements. Go inside. You'll get a pass. They'll take you upstairs to the press conference. So by the time I got up there, it was over, and now I'm just trying to. Where is everybody? But the only call that came in, because I wiped out everything that I could think of to wipe out. Because if he's going to have access to that phone, like I've got my contacts in there where I put all my passwords and username and passwords. I know that's stored in passwords, but I want quick access to it or something, whatever, relevant information. What are you going to do?
No,
just
stay.
yeah,
Stay.
just tell me quiet. So, and then anything else that would have been confidential that I didn't want to have access to, I deleted off of there. Because again, I only expected them to use it for a short time.
The man can't even have dogs in his room. She takes all the dogs to her room. That's hilarious. That's so sad. He sleeps by himself, has his own room. She takes all the dogs in her own room in her king-size bed. That's sad. But you're stuck with her. You're stuck with her now. You go ahead and get divorced. that real estate money. That real estate money gonna dry up real quick. You stuck with that, buddy. You better enjoy that single room. Don't even try to bring no females up in here. You better do that shit outside the house. No. Shit, because best believe she gonna be checking your shit if you ever were to bring a female. That's crazy. That type of marriage is. I think the dude had an affair. Oh, for sure. If he wasn't having an affair, he's for sure having one now. 1000%. If he wasn't, he is now. Oh man, it's yeah. This couple is not doing too well. They're not doing too great right now.
The police said in the lobby, "Hey, we're going to give your phone back. We're going to give your car back." Well, I knew what that was about. They're going to escort him without handcuffing and what have you.
I'm sorry, Kathy. I think you have one of the problems, the hatred for your spouse. Oh no, I'm just saying. If you're not sleeping with your husband, you might kind of hate him. You know, take a deep look down. Take a deep look into yourself and be like, do I hate him? Yeah, I do. That's probably the answer.
They wanted him to be comfortable, what have you. So I didn't expect to lose my iPhone as a result of that.
Which you should be able to get that iPhone back, but I'll double check and let you know.
Well, I was going to ask
second
you that.
Yeah.
Because I asked Alec about it. He said, well, it's being transferred to Kissimmee. And I said, well, this is going to be a slow process. So anyway.
No, we should be able to get you the iPhone back.
Yeah.
His other phone, no.
Oh, no. I would expect that, no.
What about the car?
The card, no.
No, yeah, we already know that. Yeah, I've already kissed that goodbye.
Okay.
We use that as a poodle ambulance.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
The silver card, because the dogs go to the vet, or if they have some surgeries, or the puppies, or what have you. The back seat,
Whatever you say, Kathy. Whatever you say.
could be smeared with puke, blood, and what else? But we call it the poodle ambulance.
Did when you gave Stephen this car to go to Kissimmee, clean inside?
No. It's the poodle ambulance. We're not going to have that car detailed. And then if he's using it, and of course Debbie had a bunch of her stuff in it, but no, that car was not clean.
Okay.
And I said, well, if forensics is going to go over that, I mean, I tried to tell somebody. I said, it's a poodle ambulance. There's going to be some leftover puke and blood or what have you that we weren't able to get out of the seats because they're perforated. So I hope somebody doesn't get too excited when they hit on something, but it's animal blood as far as I knew.
Okay. Have you talked to
Their house sounds gross. Yeah, I mean, once you're at more than one dog, things start getting a little dicey. 3, 4, 5 dogs in the house. Ooh. One of my friends did that, and their house was pretty clean. It never even smelled like dog, but they had to clean they still have them. They have to clean their dog every day, every damn day. It's crazy.
Stephen since he's been arrested?
No, we tried to set up a video visitation yesterday. It said we were confirmed. My iPhone crashed a couple of times when I was trying to get on, and then
We had
finally
solar
got it.
flares yesterday.
What?
They said we had 3 solar flares yesterday. Facebook went offline, and a lot of people, Verizon went off, and some other. And I thought, well, maybe that's what kicked us off yesterday.
But when I finally got on it, he wasn't there. So I kind of expected that could have happened because again, they gave me a warning. They said, if he's not available, he's not going to be available and won't be there. But I figured since I had confirmation, but I haven't had any conversation whatsoever.
Have you talked with Jen since he's been
The
arrested?
last conversation, a text I had from her was when I asked her if she had gotten access back into the townhome, because if there was anything that Stephan had there, like supposedly he had his gun there, I wanted to get it out of there and away from harm and bring it back here where somebody else couldn't do anything with it. And I was making arrangements to do that, and she said yes, and then I didn't hear back from her after that, so she's gone dark on us.
Okay.
Has she lawyered up?
No.
No. Well,
Should.
she's avoiding me for whatever reason, because up until that point,
Well, we have her phone,
oh, you have her phone. Oh, okay.
so that may be one of the reasons that she's
Well, if
done.
I'm sending you love notes, I'll be teasing. If I'm sending you messages, now I know it's
Hey, be careful with them love note comments. There's already allegations that you not too faithful, big dog. I wouldn't say, man, imagine his dad was messing around with Jen Soto too. That shit, man. Imagine that, because his dad sounds like he might be a little freak too. You know what I'm saying? He might be freaky with the ladies. Who knows if his dad got a hand on Jen? I'm just saying. Like, why would he say that? If I'm sending you love notes, no, I'm playing. If I'm sending you messages, you know why. All right, bro. All right. And Jen Soto seems like the type of girl who would just go with the flow, if you know what I'm saying. She seems like a go with the flower.
Why it's not going to answer. Because the last thing I got from her was, yes, she did. And then I sent her another message afterwards trying to get some more information. And again, trying to make arrangements to get the gun out of there. Mm-hmm. Do you guys have the gun? Or is it
Yeah, we have it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Renee, thank you for the $3. I appreciate you. Hell yeah. Shout out Renee for the love, man. Thank you so much. Hell yeah.
At least it's in safe hands.
What? I'm sorry?
I said we'll never see that again either.
No, yeah, you definitely will.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, I'm just concerned that it's in safe hands. That's the only thing I was concerned about. I didn't want, because they have roommates there. I don't know who these people are. Mm-hmm. And somebody could take that, and I didn't want that to happen.
Have they ever talked about their roommates at all?
No.
No, we don't
even
know
if there's sex. We don't even know if it's guys or girls.
Yeah.
Now, did Jen ever talk to you about Sunday night after the party?
Regarding what?
Regarding the fact that there was probably drinking with the adults at the party. That she and Stephan would definitely have been vaping. That her meds were not working, and Sunday night when she went to bed with Maddie and Stephan was in Maddie's room to sleep, that she woke up with a headache, and she told Maddie, and she told us, she told Maddie to go sleep with Stephan.
Mm-hmm. What the fuck, bro? That just sounds so wrong. Just Josie, thank you. Oh, wait, just cut the live. I appreciate that. Hell yeah. Rachel Hechtel. Shit, I might have said that wrong. Thank you so much for the 3, Rachel. Shout you out. Thank you for the 3 months, Julie Carl. Hi, all. Hello to you. Man, you guys are showing love out here, man. I appreciate that. PG, I'm just going to call you PG. Thank you for the $2. Main Chick, thank you for the 5, man. You guys are showing love, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, guys.
In her room.
Hold on, let's back this up. You guys, shit, messed up where I was at. I forgot where we were at. I appreciate y'all, man.
Meds were not working, and Sunday night when she went to bed with Maddie and Stephan was in Maddie's room to sleep, that she woke up with a headache, and she told Maddie, and she told us,
okay, go
she
sleep
told
with
Maddie to go sleep with Stephan.
Mm-hmm. It's pronounced Heshla. Okay, there we go. Thank you again,
in
Rachel.
Her room.
In her room or his room?
And when
his room.
Okay.
He was sleeping in Maddie's room, and she sent him. She specifically said, because she told us, she says, I told her to go sleep with Stephan. And I was like the antenna popped up, and I said,
why?
What a stupid thing to do. Why would you do that?
Why?
You've got plenty of room on your bed. Why would you send Maddie in there to go on a single bed with Stephan? Mm-hmm. It didn't make sense to me.
Do you know if they've ever talked about that in the past, that they would allow Maddie and Stephan to sleep in the same room together, or the 3 of them sleep in the same bed?
Heard of that. That was the first time I'd heard of that. But when she started talking about Maddie coming and sleeping with them at night, climbing in bed with them at night, mm-hmm. and then Maddie told me, that's the word she told me, she says, yeah, I was sleeping with Mom and Dad, and I rolled over, and I ended up with my leg over Stephan's leg, and she giggled about it, and I was like going,
what the fuck? And then she giggled about it? Yep. Jen, these people, ooh. I don't see how all these interviews are out and Jen isn't charged with anything. Like what? There's not a rule to not let your kid wrap their legs around somebody? I guess not. I guess that was kind of funny. Madeline don't even know she's in a sick-ass relationship right now.
Coming and sleeping with them at night, climbing in bed with them at night, mm-hmm. and then Maddie told me, that's the word she told me, she says, yeah, I was sleeping with Mom and Dad, and I rolled over, and I ended up with my leg over Stephan's leg, and she giggled about it, and I was like going, that was the second time. I said, and I told Jen, I said, listen, she's getting too old to do this. She's too old to share a bed with you. Don't do it anymore. I said, if you have to lock your bedroom door so she can't come in when you guys are asleep, then you need to do that. I said, I can understand a toddler. I can understand it up until about 5 years old. But after that, I mean, this is ridiculous. So I was very upset about that, and that's one of the other reasons we wanted him home. I just wanted him out of that environment.
I want to go back to the medication that Stephan. So Stephan on Saturday asked you if you had any medicine to calm his anxiety. Did he have prescription medication that?
No, she's not blaming Maddie. I don't think she's not blaming Maddie. She's saying that they're letting her. Like, Maddie's a fucking, you know what I mean? Like, you can't blame Maddie. I don't think that's what she's saying. She's blaming Jen, and I agree. She's saying that Jen's letting this happen. Like, you know, kids will just be kids. They're not thinking in that type of direction. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's simple. Kick her out the room, lock the door. It's so easy. Like, or you could treat her like a fucking adult and be like, listen, you're not coming in here. And she'll respect that. But they weren't doing that.
That just wasn't filled, or?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he didn't have any medicine to take to Kissimmee?
No, not that we're aware of. And one of the things I was pressing hard with Stephan when he left Disney, I said, talk to Human Resources to get your insurance coverage after you leave.
I would have called Child Services too.
For prescriptions. And so
it's weird.
Up until 2 weeks ago, I'm assuming he had enough medication to get him through, but he needed some medication, so we're trying to get him back on insurance, which I did. And then there was a waiting period of a few days that we were supposed to call in and then arrange to get his prescription filled. He contacted the doctor, supposedly, because I told him to, and there would have been a prescription waiting for him, but it never got filled.
Gotcha. Okay.
When did he start taking prescription medication? Do you remember?
He started taking Adderall when he was a child.
Of course he
I mean,
did.
he has a TBI, and so he was on an IEP through school, individual education program. He went to special classes.
Of course he did.
He was hit by a truck when he was 8.
Yeah, and blame that on everything. Yeah, a little concussion that caused him to be a fucking loser his entire life. Yep, just blame the concussion.
Hit in the back of the head with the bumper, run over his torso, and then the guy heard everybody screaming, put the car drive and drove back over him, and got him in the front of the head. And then, so he...
Well, how long has he been seeing the psychologist?
Counselor there?
Yeah, counselor.
About 4 years.
So she was prescribing medications for him at least 4 or 5 years ago, whenever he started going to counseling.
He got a TBI. He needs medication. His brain jiggled a little bit, okay? He's fine. Did he die? No. His brain got bruised up a little bit. It's okay. He's alive. The fuck? They need anything to put you on medication. It's not even for a physical issue. They think he has PTSD now, and now he's in his shell. You guys made him a fucking pussy. Just being clear with you.
So when you last saw him on Saturday and he's having this episode, the next time you see him is Tuesday night, going into Wednesday?
Wednesday morning, 2:15.
Early in the morning.
Yeah.
Got it.
And I'm the king of brain injuries. I'm not just saying that. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I don't have PTSD. Like, oh my God, a truck might hit me. No, the fuck are you talking about? Oh my God, a projectile. I can't catch it because of my Bro, the fuck out of here.
Change in his demeanor, I'm assuming, was different?
Just very stoic, you know. No emotions. Again, I'm attributing to maybe medication he's taking and the fact that...
Where would he get that medication? From Jen, if he was going to take it?
Yeah, in fact, Jen said, oh, don't worry about it. I have some meds here he could use.
And then the fact that we're now looking at early Wednesday morning, now going back to 5 o'clock, well, actually even sooner than that, since he knew the true events. So from that Monday afternoon or sometime Monday all the way to Wednesday early morning, I don't know how much sleep he's had. I know he's been under a lot of pressure, obviously, from questioning and interviews and what have you. So I didn't expect to see much of him, much other than just being somewhat stoic, kind of zombie, out of it. That's when when I left him in
His mother is his mother, and his father is his mother. I swear to God. And I just assumed he would be kind of out of it, and we just had to work with his mother is his fucking mother, and his father is his fucking mother. I promise you.
room, he was sitting in a chair, and matter of fact, I remember hearing a comment with Jen when I was talking to him. They were driving over to the hotel. She's yelling at him to wake up because he was sleeping in the car. And when I left him in this room, sitting in that chair, he looked like a guy that was going to pass out. And to hear that he drove down to Northport and back shocks the shit out of me. Unbelievable. So, the guy was like out of it. And where he came up with all that energy to do that. And then when he comes back to the hotel room, he's got an energy drink, and then he immediately crawls into bed, and he is dead to the world. You can't wake him up. And it's like, all these hours and everything else finally caught up to him, but there was no waking him up. He was passed out.
Yeah, sure he was.
Okay.
Sure he was.
I seriously don't know what he would have done if he'd had access to the house. But what he didn't realize is that when Chris leaves, this house gets locked up like Fort Worth, like Fort Knox, whatever it is. But
It gets locked up like Fort Worth, Texas. I get what you mean. Texas is pretty locked up. I get it. Fort Worth, yeah, I get it.
But what he didn't realize is that when Chris leaves, this house gets locked up like Fort Worth, like Fort Knox, whatever it is.
I get it, sweetie. I understand.
Because I never lock that door because it's a pain in the butt to get it up into the security position. And Elliot dislocated my thumb, so not one of these dogs are ripped a tendon. So I'm right-handed, so it's even harder. But I did do that because I don't know.
I do want to touch that. When Northport was here, apparently they were given a computer. Is that
I get
okay?
a computer.
Okay.
She's talking about you, Jim.
Because there was a desktop computer sitting here, tower. And I told Alex, I said, hey, it's got a tower unit here, desktop. I said, you guys want it? And they said, yeah, we'll probably do that. And so, again, I reminded Northport Police that it was here, so I gave it to them.
Okay.
Do you know what Stephan's dominant hand is?
What is what?
Dominant hand
Right.
is right. A couple questions. I know you mentioned part of his childhood and having that traumatic car crash. What else was his childhood like? Did he have a pretty normal childhood? Did he have siblings? Only child?
Well, he had an older
Well, he clearly had a TBI, so was it normal? No, because he had PTSD the rest of his childhood, right? Obviously, right?
has an older brother that was in the Navy, but
They're
because
11 years apart, so it's basically like having raised two single children.
Okay.
because of the age separation and what have you. I mean, his older brother, they weren't very close because of the age difference. So his older brother was never around that much.
Well,
Okay.
he joined the Navy right out of high school. He and a few of his friends, and they've done wonderful with their lives. But yeah, no, he loves animals.
Hold on, let me back it up. Hold on.
Because of the age separation and what have you, I mean, his older brother, they weren't very close because of the age difference. So his older brother was never around that much.
Good for his older brother. And you know what? I think older brother kind of realized when he was getting older, my mom's a little crazy. My brother's a fucking weirdo. Let me leave. Good for you, soldier. Salute to you. Have a great life. And I'm glad his face hasn't even popped up in the news. You know why? Because he didn't even surface his fucking head. He was like, oh yeah, the little fucking weirdo did something weird. Checks out. Moving on with my life.
Well,
Okay.
he joined the Navy right out of high school. He and a few of his friends, and they've done wonderful with their lives. But yeah, no, he loves animals. Always picking stuff up and bringing it home. Would not do a single chore
Older
around
brother
the
got the fuck out. Yep. Good for him. I bid you a great life, sir. I know nothing about his brother. Thumbs up for him.
Farm when we had the farm.
Is he a clean
What?
type
Oh.
person, or
No, Jesus God, no, he's lived in a
Did he
pigsty.
use the C word? Clean? No. Always a challenge to get him to pick up his room. Always.
I was going to surprise him and put a hazmat sticker across his door. Because I opened it and looked at it and shut the door again and said, "Not going in there." So then I offered to help him clean his room. I said, "Look, it's hard when it's that bad to even know where to start." I said, "I will help you."
You know, we tried to
Yeah.
encourage him for sports. He played baseball, like
He ran track.
but you know, he seemed fine as a kid growing up, and I don't know, maybe later this brain injury started.
He did not have very close friends. He had a couple of close friends and some acquaintances, but those.
How the fuck would you have close friends the way you are? Most people are getting their lives together around this time. How the fuck would you have close friends? You have nothing in common.
Those were the only ones, and he took Shotokan karate with Brian. They got up to a brown belt.
How were his emotions as a kid?
Volatile, but also, I mean, even in kindergarten, before the accident, he didn't participate with the other kids a lot. He would rather go and make up his own game and do his own thing than that. He has a very high IQ. He's very intelligent.
Okay, sure.
And I think that I was in college at the time too, trying to finish my degree, and I had all my books, oceanography and stuff like that, and he was interested. And when he was little, he was looking at my college textbooks, and I taught him to read. And he was reading at probably a 5th or 6th grade level when he went into 1st grade.
Okay.
He has a marvelous vocabulary. He has a great mind for history. If something interests him, he goes all in to research it.
Yeah, just like CP and child endangerment. If it interests him, yeah, he'll go for it, huh? He went for it, man. He was very high IQ. Very high. Well, man, I think he thought he had a high IQ because his mom would tell him he's so smart, this and that. Oh, you're such a smart boy, aren't you? And he made this elaborate story that only served to pinpoint how creepy he was. The crushing of the finger, the driving back and forth, all of that. He's thinking in his mind, high IQ movements. He's thinking he's the smartest motherfucker out here. Now I'm just gonna cry. Let the waterworks begin. Now here comes the easy part. Now comes the easy part. I just cry and let everything just fall into place. Like, bro, you're a fucking moron.
So
Well, yeah, if
He let his mom get into his head a little bit too much. This sounds like some shit she would tell him.
if he's passionate about something, he will
Put the effort in.
focus. I mean,
he becomes an expert
He got
real
it.
quick.
Became passionate about whiskeys. Ask him anything about whiskeys. Ask him anything about teas. I said, Steph, go to the liquor store, and if you got this much knowledge, put it to use. Then you get involved in these games and what have you. But boy, if he got focused on something, laser focus, and that really at an early age, because we came down from Georgia to Disney World, and he got the key to the liquor bar,
Minibar.
and he stayed there focused until he got that key and unlocked it at 3 years old. I mean, he was like that laser
He
focus.
didn't want liquor, he wanted candy.
Yeah. But he was.
the expensive candy that's in those?
Yeah.
He was very, very vocal with us that he wanted more candy because we bribed him with candy all the way down on the plane. We were waiting for the car to come to get the car seat put in, jump seat for him. And I'm gonna let you tell it because I started laughing.
So we're in the car. We're on the way to this dinner, and he's in the back seat wearing a sailor suit. And I
He was
want
cute.
candy. No, Stephan. I'm looking at the rearview mirror. No, Stephan. You can't. We're on the way to dinner. Don't want to spoil dinner. I want candy. No, you can't have candy. And he goes.
I love how they're going through a lovely childhood story while there's a dead girl and your son did that. Oh no, you tell it. I'll laugh about it. You tell it. You tell it. I'll laugh too much. Yeah, his parents are fucking weird too. This whole family is just one of those families. It's like the Murdoch family. They're just all just weird. Mom, dad, sons. Same here. Just a weird, dysfunctional, fucked up family. And then it takes one family member to expose the entire family.
I looked in my rearview mirror, looked at her, and just started laughing. And I said, "No candy," you know. And so everybody's complimenting how cute he looks and what have you. So I got to tell you a cute story. You know, he got obsessed with stuff sometimes, but you know.
They're weird as fuck.
And I am loud.
We know that. We know that. Trust me, we know that.
When I'm frustrated, I yell. Mm-hmm. I don't scream. Somebody told us that I'm a screamer. I don't scream, I yell. If they want to hear a scream,
It's the same fucking thing, you crazy woman. Allegedly.
I'll show them a scream. But,
She's Irish.
yes,
Do not upset the Irish.
I am Irish. I have an Irish temper. I go from 0 to below real quick. Mm-hmm.
And you beat your husband, don't you? All right, let me stop. Let me chill. Let me stop. Let me chill.
And I do yell.
Oh my God. She does. I do not beat. Show us the bruise marks, bro. Come on, bro. Just show it to us. Come on. 2 birds with 1 stone. Show us the bruise marks. Let's get this domestic situation sorted out at the same time. First thing she said after that is, I do not beat. Oh, she beats all right.
Yes,
Do not upset the Irish.
I am Irish. I have an Irish temper. I go from 0 to below real quick. Mm-hmm. And I do yell. I do not beat.
Lady.
Do not abuse him physically.
I'm not abusive physically. Oh my God. It sounds like she's under fire right now. It sounds like she's giving her alibi. I do not abuse physically. Man, you don't have to tell me that if that's not what you do. She beats physically. That's what she does, guys.
I am Irish. I have an Irish temper. I go from 0 to below real quick. Mm-hmm. And I do yell. I do not beat. Do not abuse him physically.
I'm not abusive
yell.
physically?
Most of the time I'd be yelling from one room to another, but I yell.
A former DI in the Air Force.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And she tried that on me very early in our marriage, and I said, "No, sorry, I'm not going to fall for that." You know?
we made a pact when we got.
Oh, he fell for that, and that's why he sleeps in another room. You know why? Because she DI'd you to the other fucking room. She's your drill instructor, sir. I'm sorry. That's the reality. That's what's happening, bro. That's what happened. I like how they have to reassure each other. They have to reassure each other that he's not her bitch and that she's not a horrible husband beater. This shit is hilarious. At this moment, they're talking to each other, trying to make sure that their relationship is stable for the next 5 years. You're not physical, and you don't boss me, right? I'm the boss here, correct? Oh, okay. All right, sweetie. Don't raise your hand, sweetie. I'm sorry.
Got married because we got married. We didn't know each other. We knew each other for 5 weeks on the phone. We met again at our 10-year high school reunion. Got married 6 weeks later. I was in California. He was in Georgia.
And you married a demon.
Back then, the rates changed at 8 o'clock my time, 11 o'clock his time, and he'd call me. So we did our courting on the phone, and he came. We got married, drove cross country in my 240Z packed to the gills.
240Z.
A lot of fun.
I fly out to California. She's got all these boxes piled up in the family room. I go, "What's that?" "That's going with us." 240Z. I said, "Let me tell you what's going in there. Cases of Coors, because you can get Coors west of the Rockies, or east of the Rockies, and my golf clubs. But these boxes are not going to fit in that 240Z. It's just you, me, the beer, and the golf clubs. That's it." And we drove cross country in that thing. Wow. But anyway.
But
we digress.
Yeah,
That's a beautiful story. Wonderful story for your son who killed a girl. Nice story, guys. I love that story. It's beautiful.
He told me, he says, whatever you do to me, I'll go back to you. Because I slapped him once. And he said, you
See, I try not to assume, but sometimes it's good to stereotype. It's sometimes, man, one of my favorite YouTubers is like, hey, sometimes you gotta stereotype, bro. Black people, white people, Spanish. Sometimes you just gotta stereotype to stay safe. I stereotyped her the second I saw her ass. She's loud, she's abrasive, and she beats her husband. What the fuck just happened? Bow right across his face. Baby, what happened? What? You can't do that to me. What? I'm the man. And he stayed with her. Man, listen. She smacked the shit out of him too. She didn't just smack him. She slapped the fuck out of him. Yep, that's what happened. Bow. Probably backed up and all. He probably started stumbling and shit. Bitched them the fuck out real good.
Cross country in that thing.
Wow.
But anyway,
but
we digress.
yeah,
So anyway.
But remember, she yells. She is not physical, and she is not abusive. 5 minutes ago. 5 fucking minutes ago.
he told me, he says, whatever you do to me, I'll go back to you. Because I slapped him once. He said, you want me to slap you back? I said, no. He said, then don't slap me.
Nah, you should open hand the fuck out of her. I'm just... You should have twisted her fucking neck around is what you should. Man, holy shit. Nah, but then after that you go to jail. So he shouldn't have did that because he definitely would have went to jail. She would have cried, slobbered, spit, smacked her whole... She would have ran into the wall, knocked herself out. Police would have came. He would have got like 10 years for domestic violence. He would have got a fucking record. My boy would have never got his... Man, listen, just run away, man. Fuck that.
Says, so whatever you do to me, I'm going to do to you. So the next time I got mad, I dumped popcorn on his head.
Mm-hmm.
He picked up the bowl, some left, he dumped it on my head. I said, all right, I get it. I get it. I get it. And we have never... We don't fight like that anymore. We sit down and talk when we're...
That's another lie. And we have never... We don't fight like that anymore. Fucking liar. You guys fight even worse than that. You guys hate each other. You guys fucking hate being in the same room as one another. I'm surprised they haven't killed each other yet. Shit.
I said, all right, I get it. I get it. I get it. And we have never... We don't fight like that.
You hear that pause? She sucks at lie. And we have never... We don't fight like that anymore.
The bowl, some left, he dumped it on my head. I said, all right, I get it. I get it. I get it. And we have never... We don't fight like that anymore.
Oh, okay.
We sit down and talk when we're calm enough to finally sit down and talk.
Yeah.
There's a lot of me
we
going
have a
in my
blow
room
up,
and
5
saying,
minutes later it's over.
Yeah.
Forgotten about it.
no, there's no...
You guys fucking hate each other. When he breathes next to her, she gets pissed off. When he eats food, when he chews it, she fucking wishes he would die. When she opens her mouth and starts singing her favorite song, he would rather shoot himself in the face. That's how it feels between them two. And they stay together because that's all they know.
grudges held. But with him, it's you never know. It's like my mother. You never know when something's going to trigger him that reminds him of something he was mad at you before, and then he gets mad about that all over again. Mm-hmm. And she did too. I don't see any reason to do that, but...
Tell me about his relationships growing up as far as intimate. Do you guys know anything about those? Did he date much?
I know some. I know...
She would know more than me.
Okay. His first real love was Kendall, and that was in California.
Oh, God.
And that's...
What age was that?
High school.
Yeah.
High school?
Yeah.
Early high school, like freshman year.
Okay.
Freshman year.
Yeah, 15, 16.
Yeah, and that was, we loved Kendall, and Kendall loved him, he loved her,
Algie said they definitely don't fight anymore, guys. Oh no, they don't. It's just a beautiful blossoming relationship. I'm sure at this point. I'm sure they figured it out after like 25, 30 years. I'm sure they figured that shit out. They ironed that shit out. Listen, when the cops left that house, the first thing they said, because it would have been me, close the door. We're silent. We're walking to the car. Bye, guys. All right, we appreciate y'all. All right, y'all stay good now. All right, love each other. All right, now close the door. Well, isn't that a fucking dumpster fire? Holy shit, those two are right. Exactly right. She like runs it. That is man, shit. Couldn't be me. And then we drive away. That's the immediate fucking conversation they had as they hopped in the police car.
That was the only reason he didn't want to leave California, was because Kendall was going to be there. And
Were they the same age?
yes.
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 And then when we came to Florida, there was this
Crazy girl.
other relationships that were just short, nothing.
Nothing long term.
Yeah, just cycled through a bunch of girls, and the guys he was hanging out with didn't approve of him because they just seemed like no motivation, no drive. I grew up.
Yeah, it's because he's a pussy. Real men don't like that. We like it connected to a female, not a guy. If you have pussy, if we smell pussy coming off of a guy, then it's kind of like, nah, we don't want you. That's typical for a guy. Just in case, Pops, in case you didn't realize why people didn't really like him, just breaking it down for you.
With I grew up in Winter Park. I hung out with the elite people in Winter Park. Showalters and the Manellos and what have you. I worked at the hardware store, Miller Hardware in Winter Park, and so, I had drive. I wanted to get ahead, and I associated with a better crowd of kids. He never did. I never approved them. They were just lazy, looking for the next party, looking for the next hit of marijuana. But
his dad is so removed from the world. They're just looking for the next hit. I thought he was talking about drugs, but he clarified for us. Just looking for the next hit of marijuana. Okay, yeah, that's what does it. That's what makes us lazy.
the better crowd of
That's what does
kids.
it.
He never did.
It's not the parenting and the coddling and all that, and maybe a little marijuana. No. It's that It's that doggone devil's lettuce. It's that doggone marijuana. Fuck.
I never approved them. They were just lazy, looking for the next party, looking for the next hit of marijuana. But so there was just a cycle of those people all the time.
That
But nobody
doggone
steady that they were wearing.
them doggone friends with that doggone devil's lettuce, man. It just ruined our son. Damn it! It wasn't nothing to do with us.
You could bargain with him. All of his friends were getting tattoos.
Oh my God, the tattoos, bro. Fuck. Just ruining his life. His friends were getting tattoos. He didn't even have no tattoos. His friends were getting tattoos. Fuck. Listen, Stephan's too pussy to get a tattoo. You don't have to worry about that.
Ace decided that they were all going to get branded with 521, their 521 club in Windermere.
That's corny
He
as fuck.
has a brand on his side.
Oh, he got one. Oh, he got branding. Oh, okay. I guess he actually got a brand? Hold on.
They were all going to get branded with 521, their 521 club in Windermere. He has a brand on his side. They did it with coat hangers. And I said, if you promise not to get tattoos, then for your 18th birthday, I will take you to a tattoo parlor and I will get you something that's meaningful. You don't want Dice or Popeye or something stupid that you're going to wear when you're 70. I said, what do you want? He said, I want the coat of arms. I said, I will do that for you. But
What the fuck is that? That's so every idea he has is so fucking corny. Okay, coat of arms. I mean, Dice is pretty corny. It's pretty corny. Oh my God, bro. What the fuck? I mean, Why do you? I get. You know what? To each his own. Get tattoos. I always say get tattoos. Have a great time. But just don't be a corny fucking. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
You let me pick the tattoo parlor because I want to make sure they're clean, they're reputable, and I will pay for it. And he did. And he didn't get any other tattoos beyond that. And it's on his right back shoulder. And I said, and don't put it someplace where it's obvious.
I know you said that you didn't necessarily approve of some of these friendships, and then you said he dated a crazy girl or one or two.
She was crazy.
Were there any inappropriate relationships with
Young?
females? Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
never.
Did you ever see a change in what he was attracted to?
No.
No.
Well, I didn't even know
No.
what he was attracted to.
He was attracted to boobs.
Mark said, "Say it isn't so. My son smokes weed and wants a tattoo. Next is prison." Well, I mean, naturally, right? Naturally, prison comes next, or meth and then prison. In that order. Because after you take that first hit of marijuana, you already know what comes next. It's that crack pipe. You know what I'm saying? I mean that crack pipe is in your future. I'm telling you. Shit.
But I don't know what he was attracted to.
Big boobs.
It was very... I can't recall other than one or two girls at our house, but there were groups of people when that was there. But I don't even know who he dated and per se. I mean, there was one girl that was a steady for a while, but other than that, I don't know who he dated because he dated outside the house and they didn't come to our house.
He didn't date, he had hookups.
Well, whatever.
And the
Shut
thing
up.
is that the girls initiated them. They were calling him all the time. He wasn't calling them. And then his wingman, Chase, was laughing one day. He said, "Boy, I'm glad Stephan's my friend." I said, "Why?" He says, "Because he attracts all the girls and I get the ones he doesn't want."
What's Chase's last name?
Leonard.
Leonard?
Leonard.
Do you know-
Leonard.
do you know-
Leonard.
Okay.
L-E-
Are you guys prepared for the Stephan Stearns love letters and the love calls? Are you guys prepared for that? Get all the girls. Listen, they're gonna be coming in the droves. Love them some Stephan Stearns. Oh my God, look at his salt and pepper beard. He's so handsome. I wouldn't put anything past these people.
Leonard. Leonard.
He live around here, or
No, he lives... I don't know where he lives, but he
He
Lives
was
in Windermere.
Windermere.
oh, okay.
was
Orlando.
living in Windermere.
He called into that awful website, Gray Hughes Investigations.
He called
We
it.
call it to that awful website. That's funny. The families always get mad when YouTubers do shit. Gray Hughes got pissed at me one time. I used his content. And he's like, "Oh, you didn't give me what did he say? I didn't give him like recognition or some shit like that." He used a different word though. I was like, "Bruh, like, you know how many times I said it was from you?" I feel like some people on YouTube just don't understand it. Like, no, he might be a little older, but I feel like he's like, "Nah, I got that interview. That's mine. You're supposed to bow down and praise me for it." And I'm like, bro, chill the fuck out. You got the interview and you put it on the internet. That means we're gonna listen to it too. But anyway, shout out to him. But yeah, he definitely got in his little feelings. He probably gonna comment on this and be like, "Hey, you can get striked for talking about other content creators." And I was trying to be nice. I'm like, bro, like chill. Like, you're not gonna be a bully up here on fucking internet. He told me, "Oh, post a video and say I'm sorry for using the content without him giving me permission." I was like, bro, I'm going to add your link to the bottom of the video because I forgot one time, and that's it. And then he didn't respond. Bro was booty butt hurt. And I was like, dude, grow the fuck up. How old are you again? Anyways.
Into it?
He called into it. People are calling into it, saying stuff about him I've never heard, never witnessed, never known, and I am being flayed, because, as I said, I'm a yeller. but I never did anything bad to that kid.
We know you're the abuser, okay? Chill.
I didn't do bad to any of them except save them.
We touched on Stephan.
Yeah, but see, JSP and those other channels, they understand the internet. I feel like that other guy, he doesn't really, he doesn't really get it. Clearly.
Jen's relationship.
Yep.
Tell us about Stephan and Maddie's relationship.
Maddie called him Dad. The last time that they were here, Stephan was sitting in this chair. Jen was here. Maddie was on that side, and she was leaning over with her arm around Stephan's shoulders and petting him with her hand, you know, because she was getting ready to go to sleep. So she came in to get her hugs and kisses goodnight from everybody. That's I mean, he didn't really interact with her.
In front of you guys.
In front of them.
Right.
Did she act that way towards Jen too? That same time?
She came and got a hug and kiss from Jen too.
Okay.
She even gave, I think she, when I came into bed, she gave me a hug goodnight too. That was it.
Did you see any changes in Maddie over the years in her personality?
No, we were talking about that the other night. It's like there was nothing visible, noticeable about a change in her attitude, demeanor, what have you. And again, we hadn't seen Maddie since maybe early 23. I think at the same time Jen got her car. They came down for a night. Didn't notice anything out of the ordinary. Seemed like all the experiences that we had observed in the past. You know, happy kid, playing with the dogs, and either watching TV in there, going to bed, or floating around in here.
Did you know her to be on prescription medication?
No, I didn't know. No, not at that time. She was just starting it. That was something that was worrying Jen a lot. She was just starting to show the bipolar, and they thought that was why she was becoming so combative with Jen.
I know you touched on it earlier, but you said Stephan didn't have that, to your knowledge, Stephan didn't have access to your storage unit.
No.
To my what?
To your
No,
knowledge.
to my storage unit. No.
Who all has
I just saw your comment, Ocean Sugar. You're funny. Welcome.
access to it? Just you.
Just me.
I don't
Okay.
even have a key to it.
And when I ask access, is it a code to get into the secured gate and then a padlock?
Yes.
Okay. And only you have those codes.
I have the code. It's in my phone as a contact record.
Mhm.
But as far as I know, he didn't have that code. Now I am missing a key and have been missing the second key for over a year. So when they first started telling me about he came down to access the unit, I started thinking, well, that explains where the other key is then. But I could have.
What do you guys think Stephan Stearns' safe word is? And a Jim said Tamagotchi. That probably is his safe word. Literally probably is.
Lost it, but I have no idea where the key is. And the only way to know whether or not anybody else accessed that is if the storage unit printed out it.
Mm-hmm.
And because I don't access it that often.
So I was here the morning that the storage unit was searched. Is there anything of like tremendous value in there? I know there's a bunch of bins and I see a few suitcases and stuff like that.
Yeah, just overflow from the garage.
Some Christmas
I was going to go over and look to see if anything had been moved because I couldn't imagine Stephan going in there. There should have been a bunch of dog crates piled up, and it's packed other than just a small section between the bulk stuff and the racks that I have there where I have access
on the right.
He did have some boxes of his stuff, but it
Yes,
was
but
like
it's
dishes
way
and
so
stuff.
far back that he would have to empty the whole storage unit out to get it.
Okay.
Back in the left-hand corner. It's well, that's too much work. He wouldn't be willing to do that much work. Has a W in the word, he wouldn't do it.
Did you guys ever witness or hear him looking up inappropriate stuff on the internet?
I have no idea because we never had access to his rooms.
He didn't use our computers. He had his own.
Obviously, his room is over here.
New police report.
Do you mind if we look?
Plunder, Gray Hughes, the docket. I know. We're about to do this. We're about to cover that Jen Soto. We're about to cover that soon. We're about to cover that real soon.
Yeah. Look, it's a mess.
Is it the same way it was, pretty much?
No, we started cleaning it out because it's just he's existed in there. We haven't touched that room. At this point, he said, "Well, there's no way in hell he's ever coming back here. We're just going to gain access back to this room and claim it as ours."
The other police complete access to it before we touched anything.
She loves talking over him.
Yeah.
And the stuff that I had
She's probably gonna smack him across the face for over talking to her later.
thrown away, the trash off of his big table, I had left there in a bag, and I said, "This is all I have done at this point, and if you want to go through the bag, you do it." You know,
So we're just getting rid of clothes and then trash that's in there, and then, like I said, it's going to take a while for us just to get in there and sort it out and figure out if there's anything of value that could be sold, and so. But it's pretty much the same mess that he left it in.
Okay.
That's all I have for now.
I got the floor swept a little bit.
You mind if we take a picture of it when we go?
Oh, yeah. If you want to, go ahead.
Do you mind if I take a picture of your notepad? Of your
Well,
notes?
I'll just give you the notes.
Yo, Brenda, thank you for the $10, man. Shout out Brenda. She always showing love in the Cash App. Thank you. Appreciate you, Brenda. Hell yeah. Shout out Brenda for the love, man. She over there just in the cut, real nice and calm with it. Thank you, Brenda.
You want another copy of them? In case somebody else wants to know the same information.
Oh, I can go do that. Okay to do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I have the original pictures of the room before I touched it, if you want to.
Create a poll. It helps the channel a lot. I mean, I do them sometimes. I don't just do polls just to do them. I know a lot of people do, but...
See those, or I can send you copies of it.
Yeah, if you don't mind, let me give you my card. There's my card. If you want to email them to me, that'd probably be the easiest.
I took pictures because it was so disgusting. It'll take a while. I've got a week's worth of pictures on.
Yeah, no worries.
I do a lot of pictures.
Hold my...
Something cute.
Thank you.
Oh, so when this thing came down Wednesday afternoon, we meet with the detectives and then personal escort and what have you, and then everything goes dark at 4 o'clock. 4:04, I get a text message. Finally, I get a text message from Jen trying to figure out what the F is going on. And she texted me and said, "Get Stephan a lawyer now."
What?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Why?
Why? And then she says, well, they have found these images on Stephan's phone that there's sex acts between Maddie and Stephan. I go, I disbelief and go, okay.
And why would she want him to have a lawyer? Please arrest this crazy fucking lady. Get Stephan a lawyer now. Why? Because he was defiling my daughter. And I want him to be saved. Like, what the fuck is going on? And she's comfortable. This is the weirdest thing to me. You could have all your delusion, all your fucked up tendencies, all your nasty, you know, all that nasty shit. You could have that in your brain, but she's comfortable enough telling his father that, oh, well, Stephan was doing nasty, weird shit with my daughter, and I think he just needs a lawyer. Never mind, she's dead right now in a ditch somewhere, but Stephan needs a lawyer. Wow.
Okay. And I asked her how long. She said 2 years. And
what?
And she said something to the effect, like he needs a lawyer up. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was just really weird.
No shit.
so
You think?
a few hours later, she finally comes out of the. I'm communicating with her before this, and I said, I got to go get something to eat, and got to use the restroom. The station's locked up. I can't get in. And she said, well, they said, go up to a Wawa or something. I said, okay. And the next thing you know, no, they're going to let me out and go to get something to eat. So she comes out, and demeanor is just matter-of-factly, everything's fine. Mm-hmm. And we get in the car, and we're talking, and we go to get something to eat. And I kept thinking,
Why is
this is a woman
Okay, again, why is he always taking her out to eat? He's always taking this fucking Jen out to eat. Now, I'm not saying he's Mr. Hound Dog trying to fuck everything moving, but this is like the maybe the third time he's taking her out to eat. Okay. And then he made the comment about, oh, so if you see any love messages on the phone, okay. All right, bro. This whole family's just fucking. I feel if you really were to dig and dig and dig, they'll continue to give you little presents of fuckery. I promise. If you kept digging, they'll keep on producing. I promise. Someone match me. Hey, Lynette, thank you for the $5. Shout you out, Lynette. I appreciate you. She calling y'all out.
learned that her child had been sexually abused for the last.
Hold on, let's back it up for 2 seconds.
Fine. Mm-hmm. And we get in the car, and we're talking, and we go to get something to eat. And I kept thinking, this is a woman who just learned that her child had been sexually abused for the last 2 years, and she's acting towards me like nothing's happened. Mm-hmm. And it's like another day, another evening out, we're just spending time together. That entire time. And then I take her back to the police station, and then she's done with her interview. The detectives come out and say, hey, we want to talk with you. I said, fine, if somebody's going to have a conversation with me. Arrange for her to get in the car to stay with Sailor. And I go up and have my conversation with Alex, and then I go back to the car, and I'm going to take her back home because she needs a ride home.
And that's probably one of it's probably one of the interviews we've heard already, where she's just chilling, grilling, just vibing. Nothing's wrong. It's all good. Stephan needs a lawyer though.
And even her demeanor of coming out with the detectives is just like everything's fine.
Did she act like that during previous contacts with you guys, whether it be last month, last year? Was it the same kind of interaction?
Yeah. If anything, this is the most interaction I've ever had with her. Mm-hmm. Because when she came here, I never really interacted with her unless we're having a meal together. Mm-hmm. And
what's up, Miss Mary? So
we're leaving, and I'm taking her home. And I kept thinking as we're talking, I'm expecting her to just blow up and start beating the shit out of me or scratching me or chewing my ass out. But no, none of that. I kept waiting for something to explode. As a matter of fact, as we're leaving, before we went downstairs to the lobby, Stephan handed me his pocket knife and said, you better hang on to this.
Whatever the fuck that means. Just me. Thank you for the 5, man. Shout out Just Me. With the love. Appreciate that.
Okay.
Shout her out.
And then I threw it into the console of my car as I'm leaving. I look down and I see this knife, and I go, call Alex and say, hey, Stephan gave me his knife that's got it in the console. Maybe you should have it. Mm-hmm. So I swung back around and took it to her, and I didn't get any questioning from her. What are you doing that for? I kind of expected that, but I didn't. Ran to the piece of paper, gave it to Alex, gave him a statement, and we left. Took her back, and everything, she's acting just too normal. It doesn't seem, it's acting abnormal because she shouldn't be that way. Her demeanor should be entirely different. And then she goes on to tell me that Stephan was sexually frustrated because she and Stephan were not having sex.
Okay.
Her medication changed. She didn't have any interest in sex, and so there was no sexual engagement between the two of them.
Okay.
And I said, well, this is really unusual conversation to hear this from a mother.
Oh yeah, so Stephan couldn't fuck me, so he needs something else. What? This lady. I don't know how she's free. Something needs to happen, bro. I don't know. Maybe they just can't find anything to stick on her. But if that's the case, then they failed, clearly.
That, if you ask anybody else, what would your reaction to be? I said, I would be batshit crazy beating somebody up. And that was not the case. And then I saw the interview. And I said, I keep thinking, if I saw that interview Tuesday and they called me, I said, no effing way would I have gone to Orlando, because I would have seen for myself, like everybody else did on YouTube, they weren't buying the story. And what I saw Stephan doing was a repeat of what he had talked to me about on
TV.
Monday evening.
Video and pictures.
Thank you.
I was just, I couldn't, her mannerisms were exactly what I saw and observed Wednesday evening, if not even better, I was just in disbelief as to how she spoke and how she handled herself at the point when the bird came into the scene and was squawking or doing whatever, and everybody paused and you waited, and then it stopped, and then she smiled, and I said, boy, that's an unusual response to smile about this bird. And I said, the beater was just way off. But then, it carried forward into Wednesday. I don't think I would have come up, but then I wouldn't have learned some other things about her had I not come. But it's like, why was I brought to Orlando? Unless to get me out of the house.
Yeah, that was it. They thought they big brained him. Put him on the road, do whatever you need at the house. Maybe they're going to take her over there. Who knows what they were trying to do? But the plan was definitely to get him out of the house. Seems like it to me.
Here alone.
So I have no idea, but
you watched his interview that he gave to the news, right?
Yeah.
Because you said that was roughly what he told you on the phone.
Yeah.
What was his reaction like to you? Did it seem genuine? Did it seem...
It was very difficult to tell when he was... I could never tell if he was lying to me or not. I mean, it was very difficult. I just, at one point, I just said, you know what? If his lips are moving, he's lying, and I'll never get the truth out of him, and there's no way of breaking him.
Well, I mean, you suck as a dad. Just saying. Jim, thank you for the $10. Add this to the Island Fund. I'm going to start packing. Shout out to Jim for the love, man. Thank you so much, Jim. Thank you for the members, the donations. Shout out to Jim and everybody else who've been in here showing love.
We're missing our Rolex. Where did that go?
My father's Rolex.
So, he would never fess up to that. And again, where did all this money come from? Where's his Omega watch? So I'm assuming where all this money was coming from is that maybe he sold off his Omega and maybe sold off the Rolex, which I find shocking. He would sell that Rolex first before he would sell his Omega, because that's how much he cherished that watch. He inherited some money and immediately went out and spent $7,000 on a watch like he really needed to. So I have no idea.
You'll never catch me spending $7,000 on some shit like that, unless I'm really up. Just $7,000? I mean, unless I could just do it. That is crazy. But of course, he could just do it. He has no responsibilities on the planet. He probably never even had a pet before.
Where that was. But he was very impulsive. He couldn't wait. If he wanted something somehow, some way, he got it.
Do you guys have ties to St. Cloud?
No.
We did what?
St. Cloud. No,
St.
we
Cloud.
have no ties to St. Cloud.
No ties to St. Cloud.
Yeah.
Any reason why he would have went there?
I have no idea. Other than the fact that maybe he's just trying to get as far away as possible. I mean, I have no idea. I mean, based on what I've seen on TV, I can see where the flat occurred and where he had to drive, I guess, 2 miles back to the hard surface. And maybe something happened. He drove that rubber right off that wheel. Have no idea why he was down there.
Obviously not an easy question. Do you think he was capable of doing what he did?
I would, if you had asked me Sunday, I would have said no. Never in a million years. He loved that child that was supposed to be his stepdaughter if they stayed together.
What's
he
up,
helped raise her. He was not allowed to discipline her.
Northeaster.
Maddie did that. Jen did that, but he acted as a peacekeeper. But no, and to kill her, no.
Spit it
no.
out, ma'am.
I think if I had to put forward a guess, I would think that it was accidental. I think that. I know it's stupid. Yes, I'm Irish, and yes, I've had dreams that are precognition. Yes, they
Stop
can.
using her whole identity is starting to seem like she's Irish. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Irish. Okay. So what do you think about the game that's going on? I have an Irish temper, and I yell sometimes, but I don't hit people. But sometimes I yell. I'm not abusive, but sometimes I yell. Oh. Okay. Well, what's your favorite alcohol? Jesus Christ. It's like I couldn't think of an Irish whiskey to Jameson. That's what she would probably go for. But yeah, it seems like her whole fucking personality is her being Irish.
But I did have a dream, and in that dream, they were in Stephan's room and in Maddie's room, unclothed. Jen came in to wake her up. Was confronted by the fact that they were together in a way they shouldn't have been, and I think a struggle ensued, and she either hit her head or broke her neck. So
Okay.
I don't think.
Good job, Mom.
Couldn't have been a gunshot because everybody would have heard it.
We appreciate your intuition. Now, please shut the fuck up.
I think stabbing, you'd have found blood, so that's the only thing I can think. And that then as she would have told Stephan, and in my dream, this is all your fault. You caused this is all your fault. You have to fix it.
We think he's being the front person on this and falling on the sword. And Jen's definitely complicit in this in some way. That's what we think.
So then you believe that Jen would have prioritized your son more than her own daughter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why?
Because she didn't have anybody else.
Oh, I think they made a pact.
I think they
And again,
decided who was going to
you look
do
at
what.
her hugging him and consoling him at that interview, knowing full well what the truth is. And I think Stephan's decided to be the fall guy in this because he's feeling remorse over the inappropriate relationship he had with Maddie, and that since if he's going to be discovered in this, that he's going to be the front guy in this. But she's just as culpable as he is in this.
The other thing is that as a mother, I have seen that child cry. You do not fake the sound in his voice, the clogged sinuses that he was dealing with. Mm-hmm. The man was sick. No.
The boy was sick.
I don't know if she just feels vindicated that she took care of it. I don't know, but I know that he's the only one that's feeling any remorse or any sorrow for that child, and she is not.
I told Debbie when I left Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning, I said, do we really know our son?
All right, sir. We don't want to hear that. Shut the fuck
We're
up.
making some crap up just to be sensational.
Yeah.
It's the internet. You gotta take it for what it's worth.
All right. And we're about to hear the. Do we really know our son? This is like the third fucking time he said that talking point. Babe, do we really know our son? You clearly don't.